Hello, 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 everybody, and let me adjust those sound levels, and welcome to Dedsafio Legends Day 4 Teams in Clash Royale. They're back in a big way, aren't they? Our last event, teams. This event, teams. And, of course, I'm very excited for, in this event, 2v2. Oh, I've missed 2v2 so much. And, of course, that's our opening set each and every time. Hope you guys are excited for today. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Some great Clash Royale for you all. 2v2, a bunch of King of the Hill with bans this time. Let's go. And then, of course, duels in the mixed. Best of 5 sets. We'll see everything. We will definitely see some bird, but not as much bird as we have in the past due to bans and duel mode. So that's pretty rad. I'm very excited about it. And we are getting ready to kick off with our first match of the day here very, very soon. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for being here. If you're watching on Twitch, thanks for being here as well. We are on both platforms today as normal. And, of course, we're going to have a blast for a couple of hours today watching some great Clash Royale. We're going to get our lineups up here in a little bit. Let's take a look at the standings at the moment in our group. Team Chief Keef. So far, 1 match played, 1 match won with a +2 differential overall in set. That's phenomenal for them. A nice little advantage going into the next set of gameplay. Team Pompeo, of course, with the win as well. Team Sandbox and Team Mugi both needing a little bit to catch up here in this one. So we'll get a lot of answers about this group as we go through today's competition. We're going to kind of maybe either get, maybe no answers. Maybe we're going to get everyone set together and it'll be all tied and everyone will have one win, be 1-1 overall, and it'll be chaos. Or maybe either Team Chief Keef or Team Pompeo can separate themselves a little bit, maybe break away a bit from the group overall. And, of course, if you do want to know all the different team rosters, those are listed in the description below here on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and bring them up myself so that we can talk a bit about these team rosters and go through what we're going to be seeing today. So, on Team Pompeo in this group, that's going to be Pompeo, Betfas, xAlee, and Asaf. Team Mugi coming in with Mugi, Griko, Chris and SeeOk. Team Sandbox with Sandbox, Miniminter, Gamefreak, kind of the outlier in this group overall. Congrats on making it to the competition. And Ian77. And then Team Chief Keef with Wallace, Ardentoas, and Furkan on the rest of that squad. So we have a pretty cool lineup for today. And we'll be getting to what those matches are again in a little bit. One more time, taking a look at the standings. Now that you know the squads, Team Chief Keef in a pretty good spot here. And again, we'll see if they can separate themselves a bit in this group play phase and take an early lead, an early advantage all the way, hopefully getting themselves to the finals. That's what they're looking for. And, of course, man, the work so far by Team Pompeo certainly put themselves in a nice spot. But, of course, keep in mind set differential is important. Let me go ahead and bring the rules back up for myself. I had them up just a minute ago, and now I can't seem to figure out where I put them. And I will make sure you guys understand all the tiebreakers and everything here as well. Our first match, about 2 minutes away, maybe a minute away from our first match here. So, again, this is a $30,000 prize pool. $1,000 prize pool overall. $15,000 to first place, $7,000 to second, third and fourth get $3K, and just by moving, getting in fifth or sixth, you get $1,000. So pretty nicely overall as far as those distributions for prize pools. The group phase here is going to be running. We're on day 4 of 6 of this group phase, and then we'll of course move on to our playoff format, which is a single bracket. But we are doing best of 5s here, so it balances out a little bit. Set number 1 for all these competitions is 2v2 with blind bans, meaning both teams send their bans in before the action begins without knowing the band of the other. Same thing with our second set, King of the Hill, where they're also both teams are sending in 1 ban before they know the other team's ban. Then our set number 3 is a 1v1 best of 3 duels format. If necessary, if we have not gotten a winner after 3 sets, set 4 is King of the Hill, and then set 5 is a final 1v1 best of 3 duels format. In the event of ties in the group stage, the first tiebreaker is going to be the head-to-head relationship between 2 different teams. If that doesn't work, if we get into a 3-way tie, then it's set differential followed by game differential, followed by number of crowns. If there's a still tie after all those tiebreakers, then we would have one more match between those two teams. I don't know the format of that match exactly. And then after that, if they're still tied, then we'll draw things out. So we'll figure out what that's going to look like. Of course, hopefully there are no crazy draws as we get through here. Our first match here is just about ready. Let me just make sure I know who our first match is. And it's going to be Team Mugi versus Team Pompeo to kick things off. Mugi and Griko will be the 2v2 duo for Team Mugi, and Team Pompeo will be Pompeo and xAlee. The bans on both sides, Tornado. Both teams banning Tornado, so very common old-school 2v2 bans. And we'll be getting into that match here in just a couple of moments. Let's see, 2v2 is back at least, says Mark Littlewood. Joy! Yes, I certainly have lots of joy on that one. And Nimbus Rider with the big love. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and use code RICH in all Supercell games. I would appreciate that. And if you don't use my code, make sure you use somebody's code. Using a code is super nice. It helps out the content creator, whoever you're into. And yeah, Nimbus with a little let's go 2v2. And I firmly agree. 2v2 is the jam. It is totally my favorite. I love it. And all I want is more and more of it. So here we go. It's going to be Mugi and Griko against xAlee and Pompeo in 2v2. We're getting our match ready to go. Let's see. Ooh, exciting. Man, I haven't cast 2v2 in so long. Some people think 2v2 is chaotic. I think it's actually beautiful, thinking about the teamwork between the two sides of it, right? Not just putting stuff down. I think Pompeo has to restart, so he might be taking a moment here. But 2v2, in a lot of pros' opinions, and in my opinion as well, is the sort of the ultimate game mode in terms of pure skill. It lessens the impact of matchups significantly compared to when you just have 8 cards, when you have 16 cards on both sides. The matchup differential becomes diminished by your ability to have counters to more different things. And of course, the ability of two teammates to work together and come up with solutions to a problem, to try to figure out who's going to cover what and why. It's really beautiful. We'll see. I don't know if these players are in chat when they're playing 2v2. Some teams do talk more, some teams do talk less, but it's also kind of dependent on how long they've been playing together. And obviously, people aren't practicing 2v2 the same way that they used to. So very curious to see how this one goes today. I'm overall very excited for it, as you can imagine. And we're just waiting to get our last couple get Pompeo loaded back in here for this one. One more time, taking a look at the current standings for our Group B, which is what we are seeing today. Group B action. Chief Keef, Pompeo, the two leading teams, and Team Mugi definitely needs a win here over Team Pompeo to try to stay competitive in this one. A loss wouldn't just put them down to 0-2 overall and put them in a really difficult spot for trying to qualify, but of course it would also put them in a challenging position when it comes to, oh, you know what, I'm supposed to be in my different scene, and there we go. I need to recalibrate some of my stream deck here. Give me one moment, folks. And I'll bring the gameplay audio up just a little bit as I get my stream deck reset here and make sure I have... I did not realize until the last minute we need a different scene for 2v2 than we do for head-to-head gameplay. So let me get that set up for you. And there we are. Now we have it all ready and set up to go. And here we are in 2v2. Pompeo, xAlee, top of your screen. Mugi and Griko at the bottom. And no surprises here. Giant skeletons abound on both sides. And oh, look at that. Is that a bird? Yep, that's right. Both teams opting not to ban the bird. So expect to see a fair bit of Phoenix on the board. Now, I have not been watching the last couple of days, but enjoying the holidays here in the U.S. So what I haven't seen is how impactful the Monk is during the spell cycle portion at the end of matches. So if you've been watching at home and you have any thoughts on how impactful that's been, I'm really excited. Let me know if you have if you've seen it be significant. You know, the trying to catch spells with Monk is kind of difficult, though, getting those projectiles. We've seen Monk almost in many ways be more impactful as part of the bridge fights and on offense as opposed to defensively. So I'm very curious to see how much that comes into play here. And if you've seen it much on your side, please, love to hear about it. Golem Master asking when is Group A playing, and I believe that's going to be tomorrow. Back with Juicy J tomorrow, who unfortunately missed out yesterday because of illness. So Giant Skeleton, Loon plus Graveyard here for Griko and Mugi. Rage in, a late freeze, Fireball trying to make a little bit more room, Snowball does push back. Man, that's an interesting choice to go with Loon in a Phoenix-heavy meta, knowing you're going to be up against two Phoenixes. Iron Ring saying, I've seen it on JJ's stream, reflected a rocket, saved the push, and took a tower. Fascinating. So I'm very curious to see some more of that today. And again, people talking about how do they make that choice. Obviously, you're seeing on both sides going Monk plus Archer Queen as the... And both sides going Loon. Is this Loon Graveyard on both sides? Has this been the 2v2 meta? It just does seem a little interesting to be going Loon when you know you're going to be facing a lot of Phoenix. But hey, I have not been playing the last couple of days in these 2v2 professional competitions, so they might have it right. Fishboy trying to create some separation here. Bomb Tower misses. Oh, just barely. Man, I haven't cast a balloon in so long. I thought that Bomb Tower missed for a second. Casting like a noob here. Zappy's trying to stop the Loon, but the freeze gets in, and that's going to be enough. GG, well played, and wow. I am very excited about that. That is fascinating to see Balloon get in the mix. All right, so that's game number 1 in the books. Oh, let me get my replay stuff ready for today. Let me go find my instant replay folder. Great, I will have that ready to go for later. No instant replays this one. Mohamed Al-Zahir saying, make Phoenix 5 extra so it can't be spammed. I feel you on that one. Tung Fung saying, I actually like the Phoenixes at being strong. Much prefer to get a DPS nerf and respawn health nerf. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the attack speed. I see some people, Mando Khalifa, saying, in my opinion, Phoenix is very balanced right now. Well done by Supercell. I honestly have not been playing enough against Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix feels OP to me still because I'm still able to play cheese decks, I feel like, and just kind of spam it. But maybe I'm incorrect in that assessment. Not entirely sure. What about CRL qualifiers? Akash Singh. Is there a Dedsafio match tomorrow? Let me check the schedule there. I believe that Dedsafio, and I hope I pronounced that correctly because no one gave me a clear pronunciation guide for how you actually talk about this. Let's see, the schedule. No, there's no tomorrow. We come back on December 1st and 2nd with the final matches of the group stage. So there you go. Rich being a model for good or when. Yeah, big, I believe you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Did I catch the World Cup? No, wait, hold on. Let's go back. Let's get into our game number 2 here. I did not. I only watched up until I had to walk away when Spain was still up 1. I know that Germany equalized. I don't know beyond that, though, what's happened. Dan Dude asking where to see the second and third days of this. You might have to go and check some of the Spanish streams. The first day of this event was on Thanksgiving, a national U.S. holiday. Then the second day of this event was on Boss's Switch channel. The third day was meant to be with Juicy J yesterday, but then he fell ill. So not a lot of English streams for this, unfortunately. It ended 1-1, says Librita. So that keeps Germany in it. A loss for Germany would have put them under a lot of pressure. Instead, they are able to stay in it for the moment. Good on them. Big stack here for Team Pompeo in the left-hand lane. Mega Minion breaks that up. And 6-man on both sides. Both players with the Royal Recruits on the Team Pompeo side of things. That's certainly interesting. Look on the right-hand side of the screen. You can keep along with the score as we go through at the moment. Our opening set, it's 1-0 to... That scoring is a little bit complicated to follow, but I believe that's 1-0 to Mugi and Griko. Gotta get used to how that sorts out. Monk setting up in the back with Phoenix. And Flying Machine just to get that cage off the board. And this is one thing you'll see in 2v2 that you really don't see anywhere else in competitive, is Rage. And this was popularized primarily by the Eastern players, the use of Rage, just directly during the 2019 season of Clash Royale. And it gets so, when you look at how many troops you have on the board, it gets so much more value in 2v2 just by the sheer volume of troops that you can spam the board with. A lot of 2v2 players, 2v2 teams in the past opting to go with Rage over Lumberjack just because of how precise it can be with the timing of the Rage pop. So we'll see if this pays off for Team Pompeo. As we have 10 seconds left, one in sudden death overtime. The lead right now for Pompeo and xAlee. And they are certainly creating a mess here in the middle of the board. Ram Rider in behind a lot, going for the body block. The Rage here offensively not getting it done, and that's a pretty significant counter push. The Flying Machine doing a good job of trying to stop it, but the Flying Machine does go away. Gets on tower, though. That's some significant damage, forces the snowball out, and that's going to really end the dreams of that push in the right-hand lane for Griko and Mugi. Maybe a bit of a double there out of xAlee and Pompeo. Didn't need as much there, I don't think, on the right-hand lane. Monk plus Fisherman left-hand side for Griko and Mugi. Ram Rider putting the Giant Skeleton on skates here if it can, trying to sneak its way through all of this. And the log pushes it back. Nice pickup there by the Fisherman. Triple Elixir, 1556 in the bottom left-hand side. You see now the full Rage push, but well-timed with the Goblin Cage is the play of Mugi. No, never mind, that's Griko. 1421, mitigated that damage pretty well. Not having the Rage here and the Lightning being pretty much dead in the hand of Griko here, causing some problems for this duo. How do they get on offense? They have one last push. Lumberjack down. Lumberjack, again, you see the choice here of going Lumberjack instead of the Rage. And the poison plus the stack. Just not able to find a way through here. And that's going to be a nice game number 2 win. Lightning not going to be enough. GG, well played. xAlee and Pompeo taking game number 2. Very, very well played here by those two. And now we're all tied up 1-1. Oh my god, 2v2 battle of pro players is so good. Yeah, I know. 2v2 is the jam. I miss 2v2. I'm so excited to be able to cast 2v2. I should see if maybe I can get AC or RF to come in for one of these days. Maybe the finals. I'll see if I can get one of them to come join and talk a bit about 2v2 because, man, it's so fun to have it again. Mohamed Light's team is not playing today. Mohamed Al-Adi. Today's teams are the teams in this group right here. So Team Chief Keef versus Team Sandbox later. Right now, Team Pompeo versus Team Mugi. So those are our 2 matchups on the day. And just loving the positivity in the chat today. Can we appreciate how handsome Rich is looking today? Yeah, it's the ice creams, I think. I do need to hit up. I have not talked to Gooder in a while about sunglasses stuff. I haven't been able to do as much with them lately with my responsibilities at AMG. But we should do some cool stuff with them pretty soon. I just need to actually put together a package and figure out what we want to do together. But yeah, the ice creams, these are the jam. These are looking pretty good. And I figured out my lighting, by the way. Notice that my hair is not like annoyingly red, as my lighting was pretty bad for a while, so feeling good. Do I know what the December Pass Royale theme would be? I don't think so. I haven't checked. I don't know if I would even know that. Avishai saying Team Pompeo going to win it. We'll see. We'll see if they can make it happen. This first 2v2 set is certainly important. DC the Boss, what does your day look like at AMG? Good question, DC. Well, I am the director of production over at AMG. That's Aftershock Media Group. That's the team that's the company that CWA and Powerbang own together. And a lot of it is about me trying to manage the production department, prepare for big shows that we do. We produce a lot of esports and game-related content. I have a really great team that I work with who's super talented and professional, and we're just always trying to make the best shows that we can. A lot of it's paperwork, now that I'm in charge of things. So far, these monks have been primarily offensive. Curious to see Pompeo on a lead. So we're going against quadruple bait, most likely, from Griko and Mugi. And we're going for double hog leads from Pompeo and xAlee. And that hog's going to get some real damage, and the giant skeleton deep. And that's going to be a giant skeleton bomb on tower. That is massive for Pompeo and xAlee here. 504 on that right-hand tower. Early, important damage. And now they can play a lot of defense, try to spell cycle that out a little bit. We'll see how much this goes into the chip range as opposed to really trying to push heavy. The one saving grace here for Griko and Mugi is that they're playing quadruple bait, which means that the spells, especially those two small spells, really can't be used offensively for chip as much as maybe Pompeo and xAlee would like to. See the log probably be the response. Oh, yep, see the log there on the left-hand side. Oh, my word, letting that hit, though. Definitely a rough one for Mugi and Griko. And that connection really makes things difficult for them. They might just have to ignore. And they're choosing to defend here. They're gonna make their opponent spend the spells. Interesting to keep in mind. I'm trying to think of how much 2v2 either of these guys played competitive. I do know that Pompeo played some competitive 2v2 when he wasn't Chiefs. I don't remember what his record was. I can look it up. I have the stats somewhere. I don't think they ever used Mugi on 2v2 in his time at Honos, but I could be wrong. I think they saved him for King of the Hill in 1v. And that's an easy tower down. And a little desperation, Skarmy push on the right-hand side. Not going to do much of anything. And the multi-bait's just not getting it done here. So set number one goes to Team Pompeo as Pomp and xAlee carry the day here. Fubsy with the most important thing. I am from Burrito. I feel you. Did that actually make it? Did that go onto the screen? There we go. I am from Burrito. What a great place to be from. What a great place to be from. So nice opening win here for that squad. Thank you very much. Which team do I support in the World Cup? Well, I believe that we will win. Got to beat Iran, though, on Tuesday. Got to beat Iran on Tuesday. That's a big one. Then after that, who knows where Team USA goes from there. But, yeah, obviously hoping for the U.S. to pull it out. We should win. We should win against Iran, but they've been pretty dangerous so far. I mean, they've acquitted themselves well, is the best way to put it so far in this tournament. So, yeah, let's fingers crossed. I mean, they obviously had a rough one. I think that was the England that did England put on them pretty hard. Hold on, let me double check that score here. I think the England match was rough for them. Let's see. Let me go look at the match or the standings. Yeah, Iran beat Wales and then lost to England, right? But their goal differential is -2. Hey, I mean, good. If Iran wins, they'll deserve to win. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. Oh, asking about what is this is not fame thing. It's one of the many books by the stand-up comic who inspired me to start stand-up, Doug Stanhope. I'd really recommend his book. And Hardik, I'm not going to address that during today's stream. I've already addressed it on Twitter. If you want to look at my statement on Twitter, you can refer to that. But I'm not talking about it on today's stream. Bart, do you read a book once in a while? Yes, I usually read every day. Read for a little while before I go to bed every day. I primarily read fiction. If I read, I don't really read nonfiction books. I prefer to read like articles at the New York Times, that sort of thing. If I'm reading, nonfiction related stuff. But when I'm actually reading books, I tend to read fiction, and I usually read every night before going to bed. It's a great way to kind of let my 6-2 England. Yeah, that was. There you go. That's 6-2 England. Yeah, so I mean that's the U.S. It's at this point I think U.S. 2 draws. Yeah, U.S. has to win. And Iran, the win over Wales is good for them. So they're certainly not an easy out. We drew Wales. We'll see what happens. Love the Run the Jewels album frame. Oh, this right here. That's actually the box that these Run the Jewels action figures came in for all the stuff on the back. Okay, here we go. Set number 2 on the day. And this is our King of the Hill set with blind bands. Team Mugi is bringing Griko, Chris Lian, and Mugi in that order. Team Pompeo with Asaf, xAlee, and then Pompeo as their anchor. The bands are Lava Hound and Monk. Those are the 2 bands for this one. And our first match is going to be Griko and Asaf. So there you go. Mark Littlewood saying a draw is okay for the USA as long as Wales doesn't beat England. No, because right now Iran has 3 points and the U.S. has 2. So if we draw Iran would have 4, and U.S. would only have 3, which would mean Iran would go through. So the U.S. has to win against Iran. They cannot draw. The guys cannot draw that matchup. So we'll see. Players need more communication for 2v2 matches. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. And here we go. First matchup. It's going to be Asaf versus Griko. And we should be jumping into that one in just a moment. Let's see. Canada is out. Yeah, unfortunately, Canada didn't have the best showing at the World Cup this year. See you in 4 years. But right now, still some. I think the U.S. is favored against Iran. I mean, the U.S. is favored against Iran, and I like our chances there, but cannot take them lightly. And Iran can really sit back and defend. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with like 5 men in the back. Like they probably, they're not going to park the bus entirely, but they're going to come out. They're not going to put more than 2 forward. They're not going to do like a 4-3-3, right? Probably do like a 5-4-2 or something. Or is that math right? 5-4-1, or a 5-3-2. All right, here we go. Let's jump into it. Game number 1 of King of the Hill. Advantage right now to our red side. And Lava Hound, Monk, the bands. Hog EQ looking like the deck for Griko. Mondo asking Messi or Ronaldo. Well, that's always a fun question, but I am excited to see Messi will be going to Inter Miami, looking like that next year. So Messi to the MLS, and he's still got some fight in him too. I'm very excited to see Messi play in the MLS for a couple of years. That'll be a lot of fun. We'll see how long he chooses to go, but the rumor is if he gets the contract gets sorted out, he will have the largest MLS contract out there. Wall breakers to the right-hand side. So the giant skelly version of Hog for Griko. And solid surround by Asaf, who's going minor wall breakers. No drill for the drill player. And no building for Asaf, it looks like, which is going to make this really difficult. Just aggressive play, and this is what he's trying to do. He wants to get the log out if he can. so that the log's not there to go against the Skarmy, which is Skarmy is maybe his best way of defending the hog, but does not bait out the log. Instead, just pure troop defense and taking the damage is the option that Griko chooses instead. Nicey hog go the opposite way here. Zappies will slow it down. Won't be enough, though. One hog hit should come through, and the hog shot does connect. Second one does not make it, but that doesn't matter. 1462. This is all Griko has to do is continue to get a bit more. And he's, again, I don't think he logs here. I think he plays, yeah, there's the bomb tower. And the log, now this log has to contend, and let's see what the cycle situation is. Does he choose to double down here? So, does go ahead, so we should see a Skarmy there, and there we go. EQ on the Skarmy, but the Skarmy played high, but still one hog hit. We're going to see one hog hit pretty consistently out of these pushes for Griko. So Asaf really in a tough spot here. Not really sure what his methodology for defending is going to be. So he has to just kind of, I think this is the game plan. He's just getting really aggressive offensively and not give many options for Griko. Make him spend as much as he can in this left-hand lane in the strong side and away from that right-hand tower. But every hog is going to be a problem. Hog down, EQ does pop, Zappies will control, and that does stop the hog hit. Now we're pretty close. 1060 to 820. This is no joke now. Bomb tower a little early, going to get the first one out. Fireball just to get damage, and now we are just separated by 33 HP. And that's smart to cycle the AQ to the left-hand side here. No need to get involved on that right-hand side. Just add more so that you can't get the same pressure swarms from Asaf. Because that doesn't really, all that does is clog up that lane for Asaf. He can't do anything there. He has to wait for the AQ to go across. Now Skarmy's out of cycle. Hog goes through the middle. Very, very nice sequencing from Griko. Late gang stops, though. Late game gets the stop. 600 to 853. Miner to the front this time to try to distract the gang. Doesn't get it done. 46 HP separating these two. And man, these hog EQ pushes, and that's the nail in the coffin right there. Asaf has to just go all out and hope that he can get something through. He's not going to get anything through, though. This will be easy defense for Griko. GG, well played. Griko taking Asaf out in the first game. Very well played. Let's see. In the Twitch chat, Hitarth saying, who goes to sleep in Deontay Wilder versus Ngannou match if they both connect a clean shot? If they both connect? Okay, so if they both connect, Ngannou sends Wilder's head into orbit, potentially, but they don't both connect. Deontay Wilder probably, like, beats the heck out of Ngannou. It is a heavyweight fight. Ngannou can always connect, but if they both connect is a different question than what actually happens. But, yeah, if they both connect, Francis Ngannou hits like he's not made of meat. You know what I mean? Let's see. I don't understand kickball USA. Nimbus, yes, to answer your English-only chat for today. Today specifically, we'll do English only today. That hoggy needs a meta or at least hot meal and a mud bath. Yeah, that hoggy did very well. Next up, Griko versus Ali, and Griko can request. Sleon saying Asaf used a bad deck. Not having, I mean, I don't know what the deck pick was for, right? Not having any sort of building makes it really hard against Hog, obviously. I'd be curious to know what they were trying to pick against with that pick out of Griko, to go against Griko. Gaming with Momo, do you read manga? I do not read manga. Manga kind of got popular in the US a little bit after my time. Best way to put it. Griko versus Ali, our next one. Pekka versus Wilder, who wins? Well, Pekka has a sword. Who's winning the World Cup? In this World Cup, if you're trying to pick, you're insane. This has been the craziest World Cup ever already. Like, no one's safe. No one is safe. 2v2 is dope. I need more of those. Every match starts with 2v2. So we have our second match of the day will also begin with 2v2. Here we go. Game number 2 of King of the Hill. Let's jump right into it. Griko versus xAlee. Al saying, hello, Rich Ollie from Syria. Love your content. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great day, too. Thank you very much also for joining us. And that drill got shut down, and now a big counter push. And look at the going ahead and getting the mortar up already. I don't think that mortar's not going to do a lot. Doesn't get the splash onto the tower. Miner going to try to tank here for the egg. Nice pickup of the egg with the goblin, or not the goblin gig, with the goblins. Goblins. They have 4 now. Did you know they have 4? Yeah, they have 4. I need to figure out a different place to put my arrangement isn't ergonomic. I have to look at the OBS is over here, but the gameplay is over here, but the camera's over here. But you guys, you get it. Knight plus Phoenix. Reminder here, as you can see at the bottom on the left-hand side of the screen, Monk and Lava Hound, the bands. Interesting with Team Mugi banning Lava Hound. And so far, the bird has not been banned in any of these matches. Important to note. Important to note here. No bird ban. Do I think that goblins are close to being broken? Asks Murno. Good question, and I don't really know. Close? Close, maybe. Close is easier to say than yes, right? Mortar up on the left-hand side. Goblins do pick it up and get the split. And I believe that giant skeleton gets in range before the retarget. No, it does not. So that should be 1 on tower, maybe 2. Just 1, just 1. No pickup of the ghost. But a little late there, but the spam is real. Goes to the left-hand lane. No way to deal with that. So Ghost is going to be doing crazy damage just as this right-hand side push puts in a real significant hit. And just like that, xAlee takes control of game number 2. That miner pickup. Does it get more splash in the tower? No more. 2206 to 1842. The interesting thing here with xAlee's deck, right, is that it has lots of ways to control miner shots, but most of them are kind of expensive other than the goblins. Oh, that's a nice log here. Does not, and it does get the Phoenix back up. Wow. And it's not important except for chunking down the opposing Phoenix. See, think about this, right? You have the Ghost doesn't pick up mortars. The gang, I mean, not the gang, man, the goblins are your best bet. But the rest of this deck is really heavy, so you're often not going to have the right card to pick up a mortar. And that's why we're seeing little bits of mortar shots come in. That's a good log. That's a good log out of Griko. Griko's done a great job of getting control here. xAlee by no means out. But every time he tries to go on offense, the mortar creates problems. This is what he has to do. He has to control mortars early. Get back around. That's a nice hit. This is feeling pretty over for xAlee here. Let's see what this push on the left-hand side. Gonna drill to the outside, I believe. Goes to the outside. Mortar controlling all of his troops up high, though. Miner to the... Oh, that's a nice miner. The Magic Archer. But still, damage done. 35 seconds left, though. Isn't enough for xAlee to come back. He has to get a big connection. That Magic Archer helps. That Magic Archer helps a whole lot. And the pickup, no! The Ghost was the only option, so no pickup on the miner. Keep in mind, no big spell for xAlee either. So he has to get directly on tower. Where does this one go? He goes to the front here. He's going to NATO it all together. Great Valve, but the NATO late does not help the connection. That Golden Knight connection not getting it done, and Griko's going to take game number 3 here, or game number 2 here in King of the Hill. Mortar puts a cap on it. GG Griko. 1 away from a King of the Hill sweep to kick things off here. Wow. What a play. What a play. What a play. It's Arth asking, who do I favor in the Pompeyo versus Whitaker matchup? We'll see how Pompeyo stacks up against actual wrestling. But clearly on the feet, he's a monster. Clearly on the feet, he's a monster. All right, next up for Griko will be Pompeyo. Can Griko complete the King of the Hill sweep? Game sounds are really loud. All right, let me go ahead and I will adjust the game sounds when we get into our next matchup. But thank you for the that note. Tung Fung asks, how are the team captains picked for this event? Minus Pompeyo, they were all CRL World finalists, I believe. I don't know exactly like what I think the concept was supposed to be about that, but I don't know how many finalists were actually available. Mortar is broken, says No Mitch. Not so much anymore. I think the nerf helped, but it definitely is still valuable. Avishai saying Pompeyo reverse sweep. We'll see. We don't know until they play. And that's the important thing. So here we go. Griko Pompeyo. What are my thoughts on Phoenix? Here's the thing is, right? The nerf lowered its use rate overall, but upped its use, its use rate with pros is still crazy high, and its win rate overall actually went up because now only people who know how to play with it are using it. I think it's still too strong. And I don't think that the egg nerf was necessarily, I don't know. I think the egg nerf wasn't the greatest. Wasn't the exact problem. I think the attack speed might be the biggest issue with it. It attacks so fast. Did I catch Brawl Stars World Finals? Only bits and pieces, not in any really meaningful way. Here we go. Let's jump into our next game. I'm going to bring the gameplay audio down just a little bit here. Hopefully that's a better level. Let me know if I need to make some more adjustments. Happy to. Do I think Lumberjack and Electro Wizard are good cards? They're both like B tier right now. How many, question, how many trophies do I have? I don't even know. I haven't really paid attention to the trophy road. My legacy best, as it's called now, is CT606. And I haven't been grinding really hardly. I don't even know what the situation is with ranked in terms of, do you get like a trophy number before you finish ranked? I don't remember. Honestly, I pay so little attention to all that sort of stuff. Oh, I thought that might get to the Ice Wiz. Doesn't get to the Ice Wiz. And Pompeo goes down to 0 here to defend. He will have a little bit of a counter push. Splash Yard for Pompeo against Drill Spam for Griko. Thoughts on Royal Giant? If it weren't for Phoenix, Royal Giant would be the strongest deck in the meta. And it still is crazy strong. Before the Phoenix came around, competitive, there was way too much Royal Giant, especially in the previous Queso Cup Teams edition where there were no bans. Is Graveyard OP? It's going to be really good right now. Graveyard's really good, really good right now, especially with Phoenix. Like a Splash Yard with Phoenix is kind of nasty, actually. Nice connection there for Griko, and he's just making early damage, early leads. Operation 660, I was brought here by the game Clash of Clans. I've been playing Clash after the joint world finals with Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. I've begun playing Clash of Clans again, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm I joined a new clan because I wasn't in a clan anymore after not playing very much for a couple of years. It's all disc golfers, which is really fun for me. We play Clash of Clans to talk about disc golf, which if you know any disc golfers, we're happy to talk about it for hours at end. Two birds. Pompeo trying to cycle away from this right-hand side. Graveyard can change the game in a breath. We'll see if that happens here. Good pressure. This is smart pressure from Griko. He might, that spend, he has enough elixir to defend here. And there's not enough elixir for Pompeo to support the push. Very nicely played. Very nicely played from Griko. That was picture perfect. And we'll talk about the bird here after this game is over, which is very close to being finished. And dash does go. Wow. Wow. Griko, 1-2-3 here in the King of the Hill. And now evens up our sets 1-1 between these two squads. I don't get what's so good about Phoenix, says Micah. Well, let's see. For 4 elixir, you get a flying tank that does a ton of damage, that has a crazy fast attack, and that can respawn itself. For 4 elixir. I don't know what else to say other than that. Dan Dude saying RG, other about the RG conversation earlier. It's never been a best win condition, but it's consistently top 3. Interesting question. It was the most dominant. It was the most popular win condition in 2019. How much damage does Phoenix do? All of it. It's crazy. Oh yeah, and you get like an AOE bomb when its egg pops. Like it just does so many things, and for so little elixir. For 4 elixir, it does a ton and does it does it all very well. Before the 2 nerfs, it was like laughable how strong it was. Even after the first nerf, it was still insanely OP, and even after this the second nerf, it's still a little OP. All right, here we go into set 3. This is the 1v1 set. So in this set, Team Mugi opting to go with Mugi. And Betfas coming out for Pompeo. Nimbus Rider with the $5 super chat. One time for the channel, everyone. Mwah. Thank you, Nimbus Rider. I do very much appreciate it. Appreciate your support and your modding. Is Logbait dead? According to Riley, it is. So we'll see, and he's the number 1. He's the Logbait guy right now. Monk and Phoenix are crazy broken. Phoenix is broken. Monk is still OP. Should be adjusted a little bit here, but like Monk gets left out sometimes. Phoenix does not. People just play Phoenix with everything. Phoenix is so good that it made E-Golem good again. Let's put it that way. What type of Expo deck is viable in this meta? The kind that doesn't have Expo in it. Where is SeeOk? Where's SeeOk? No idea. I think Ice was popping because of Phoenix. Yep. I mean, Ice was also because Ice was just sitting as soul with Graveyard, and Splash Yards is still pretty good. Is Logbait better with Knight or Valk? Neither. Logbait's not viable. Is Balloon viable? With this much Phoenix, generally not. And Balloon hasn't really been viable even before Phoenix, right? Balloon's been kind of junky for a while. So, and Phoenix made it even worse. Ice was popular because meta shifted from Fireball to Poison. That's also true. All right. Waiting for our 1v1 to kick off. This is not our last set. And a reminder that that Team Pompeo has 1 set, Team Mugi has 1 set, so we're guaranteed a minimum of 4. Let's see. What is the 5 cards you want to see buffed? Buffed? Buff is always like, okay, so if you talk to like people who are really into like competitive, buff is rarely the conversation. It's mostly nerf is the conversation. Buffed. It's an interesting question. Buffed. Worst meta in Clash Royale history? No, especially not now that the Phoenix is starting to fall back a little bit. The worst one was probably the Witch X. Like Night Witch meta was probably the worst. Witch XE was really bad. How many teams pass this group? I believe it's. Let me check the rules actually before I answer that question because I literally have the rule book open. Let's see. Top 3 teams from each group. So you only have to make top 3 to advance, which is kind of actually that's a little cheese, I have to admit. That's a little cheese, I do have to admit there. But you know, is what it is. Drill meta wasn't the worst. Wasn't the worst meta. Also, I was good in the drill meta, so. You know what I mean? All right, RG to the left. RG versus Golem. And that fish boy. Oh, what a NATO from Betfas. What a NATO from Betfas. That shut it down. Got it before the fish got his feet planted. He pulled the fish boy in. And, yeah, that's nice. That's real nice. Oh, buff small spells. You know what? I would say a slight buff to Zap would be good. A slight buff to Zap would probably be good. Zap is, like, barely used. I think the other small spells are in pretty good shape, but Zap could use a little bit of love. That's fair. Zay, this is my first time watching Clash Royale. I'm so enjoying it. Hey! Love to you in Saudi Arabia as well. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching. Hope you would continue to enjoy it. Thoughts on changes the latter edition of Ranked? It's still to be determined. Brandon is my answer. Lightning plus Mini P.E.K.K.A just cleans all that up. Man, Betfas, between the Cage and the Mini P.E.K.K.A and the Golden Knight, a lot of DPS to take down these RGs. Lightning doesn't have the greatest targets. I mean, it has half of a bird, the hunter, and the fish boy. And Betfas chooses to go him up here, and this is the right response. Look at that the Cage is already popped, so Cage not in cycle. Immediate RG left-hand lane, able to pull it back. Can't get back to Cage, though, for Betfas. There's going to be a lot of damage against Betfas here. Mugi just shredding that left-hand tower with the RG. And just trying to DPS this Golem down real nice. And he does. That was a great sequence for Mugi overall. And now right back around to RG one more time. Oh, boy. And now putting significant damage in both lanes here. Both players, though, have opened it up. That left-hand tower of Betfas down low. He does have Cage back in cycle, though. That Cage was a little suspicious. I say that Cage was a little bit suspicious. You're stacking that Cage up right with everything, and there you go, GG. Not the Cage you wanted. Not the Cage you wanted at all. Let's see if I can queue up the last moments here of that one. And let's go ahead and jump into a replay here. And here you go. You're going to see the Royal Giant get pulled back. And let's go ahead and get into the remainder of the thing. So you see the damage coming in on the right-hand side. Obviously, Mugi wants to keep playing this left-hand lane, but Betfas has to defend. And you see the value. The bird, I mean, that bird's a 4 elixir advantage. And look at where this, he just puts it right there. Perfect timing by Mugi with the fish boy. NATO's not going to do enough. And, you know, the Cage was already going to go down very quickly from that Royal Giant work. But it's playing it right under the RG plus the Phoenix. Just gives it no time to do its job. Right? Maybe he was trying to create some distractions here. But this is where you see that the defense really has no opportunities. There's such an elixir advantage that 3 elixir fish boy can come right behind. And look at that timing. Just he knew the Mini P.E.K.K.A was coming, able to pull it off, and that's just an easy win there for Mugi in game number 1. So game number 2 coming here in just a moment. Let's see. Dan Dude saying, is that buff could be a slightly bigger radius or a longer stun? Yeah, it could be one of those two. Betfas has like a E-Giant deck, but with Golem. Yeah. Buff Knight 2 is found on meta thanks to all the Graveyard and Graveyard. Knight was nerfed on purpose, I think, pretty recently, wasn't it? I play 2.6, says Lord Rob. but went with Fireball for Poison instead for Graveyard. Interesting. Because of all the GUI. I like Cashman TV's content. Me too. I don't watch it a lot because it's not really for me specifically, but I like Cashman a lot. He's a cool dude. One of my favorites. Nerf to Hog Rider. Nope. Hog Rider itself is pretty balanced. It's not even that good in the meta right now because the decks that surround it aren't very good. So yeah, no, Hog Rider only needs a nerf if you are like in lower competition, like lower level stuff. What's my favorite deck? Anything in the Magic Art Tornado, really. I'm playing Splash Yard right now a lot, though. How am I doing, Ask Itzik? I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Thoughts on Minor Control? Good in the right hands. Tornado should not fully counter Hog. I disagree. I disagree. If Tornado didn't counter Hog, Hog would actually become super OP very quickly. Let's put it this way. There was a couple metas where like Hog EQ were super dominant, and that's with native. So a drill off here between Betfas and Mugi in game number 2. Keep in mind, this is duel mode, right? So we are no longer with bans. So with the play in game number 1 of Royal Giant from Mugi and the, oh, nice connection there on Mugi's behalf, and Golem in game number 1 from the other side from Betfas. Go ahead and actually bring up Royale API since the overlay does not include the previous decks played. Let's see if I can get the... Oh, that's old. Let's see, can I get this going? Oh, here we go. Oh, this is great. This is very easy. All right, so... Monk and Phoenix both out for Mugi. Keep that. Now it's interesting. Monk and Phoenix are both out for Mugi, and we're seeing neither here in game number 2 for Betfas. Interesting. And that answers the question. Thank you, Ahmad, for answering the question asked of what was the best and worst of the champions. Wallbreakers connect left-hand lane for Betfas. Mugi playing probably the most popular version of Drill in the game. I think that's right. And Betfas just keeping that pressure on opposite lane here. Magic Archer will get some... Oh, what a nice... That was a great set of Goblin Gang out of Betfas. Very nicely timed. Mugi totally thought he had that lined up. Doesn't get it. And now just spamming drills right now is the known for Expo, but has certainly expanded his deck pool player. Beerus, thank you very much for watching. And adios to you and all your Czech Republic friends. Oh. I was wondering what I was hearing, but it's an ad on. All right, Royale API, your ads are working. I thought I had ad blockers on. But I guess I turned, you know what? I whitelisted Royale API to support the site. That's right. I was like, why am I hearing an ad? 721 to 1293. Oh, right. That ad distracted me right when suddenly Mugi took the lead back. That's really annoying. Royale API, you're why I didn't know what happened. 918, 721. It's still the left-hand gameplay out of Betfas. Magic Archer with a big connection. 384 to 918. Betfas going to just go ahead and try to go all full send, left-hand lane. No goes Wallbreakers behind the Skeleton King. They're not going to make it, though. But that left-hand down, way down, and there you go. Betfas able to tie up the set. Very, very nicely played by Betfas. Well done indeed. Let's go ahead and queue up the replay from that one. And here we go. So wall breakers, left-hand lane here. They don't require a response, which is really fascinating because of that activation. So all this looks like it's pretty much done and dusted. 384 on the right-hand side, but the Skelly King stays alive enough, and with the pressure on the left-hand lane, and then the work on the right, the Ewiz steps away from the damage, and the Goblins from that drill, let's go back and look at that one more time. You see the left-hand side here. So the Ewiz is going to completely walk away from the action on the left as this Skeleton King comes in, trying to split the difference here. But see that step the Ewiz takes up? A bad step for it. The gang goes around the drill, and the gang plus drill able to get it done. That Ewiz may be a half step early, not able to help with the action in the left-hand lane. So in game number 1, the decks played for Betfas. Betfas played the Golem, Golden Knight, Lightning NATO deck. And then now the Drill Wall Breakers. Inferno Tower out for Betfas. Has not used Monk or Bird. You kind of have to expect Monk and Phoenix here in game number 3 from Betfas, but maybe he's trying to avoid someone trying to count like a direct snipe to those two. What is the direct snipe for Bird and for Bird and Baldy? Is that good? Hey, Bird and Baldy, is that nice? Rich M saying Mugi's giving a glimmer of focus, only likely to slam the door in the next match. Yeah, that kind of happens. NATO out for both players. I don't think that Betfas is a minor control guy. Hog, a possibility for Betfas. RG, a possibility for Betfas. With NATO, but no buildings. The only building played by Mugi so far has been the drill. Hunter gone, Fishboy gone, though. Lightning out for Betfas. Maybe an RGEQ would be compelling here because all of the like in the hand, all the troop and spell based counters to RG are gone, right? NATO is gone, Fishboy is gone. You can go like single target DPS. You could mini P.E.K.K.A, you could P.E.K.K.A, whatever it might be. But the primary ones, Fish Hunter, Log is out for Log and NATO, all out. And here we go. Let's go into game number 3. Is RG the play here from Betfas? We'll find out. Wall breakers for Mugi. And Mortar. Mortar Hog or Mortar Miner? NATO's out, so either one makes sense here. And Monk just shutting down that AQ. So Mugi looking like this is interesting. I have been not watching the last few days of competitive, so there might be some decks I don't recognize immediately. Just Mugi with maybe a real beefy version of minor wall breakers. Mortar, Cannon Cart, Miner. And a thick version of Mortar Miner here for Betfas as well. So both guys going pretty heavy here. And that's a, does that cannon, oh, the cannon cart, wow. And that right there, that, if Betfas wins, that push just did it. I'll clip that one to review after the game, but man. Also, I will occasionally miss things, guys, with so many different things happening at once. Wall breakers. Oh, what a nice cannon cart pickup. Betfas with plenty of elixir for that. And just forcing Mugi to spend a ton. Bird to stop that on the other side. And that miner just getting a free ride here. And this is smart from Mugi. Just ignore the miner and try to go as big as you can. Just spam the opposite lane here. Bandit gets in. AQ Watt shredded. Wall breakers behind with a nice high mortar here. And Betfas is just totally in control. Betfas is just completely in control. Mugi might even just, yeah, he's gonna stop here. Nicely played by Betfas. Who put that on their betting card? Who here went and said, I think Betfas is going to beat Mugi in the 1v1? But I'm telling you right now, Betfas's deck pool has been getting deeper. His gameplay has been getting better. I'm not saying that Betfas is about to be a top 5 guy, but Betfas is gearing up to have the competitive season of his career in 2023. He really is. Let's go ahead and take a look at that really interesting replay. The early moment that won Betfas the game here. Let's go ahead and throw that. This is the early moment. So you're going to see the cannon cart down low. The bird giving a lot of trouble here to the push at the bridge. And the Zappies able to help control. The miner play out of Betfas there was really smart. Miner plus Zappies. Monk gets in front. And this is going to make just enough room. The miner going to pick up the cannon cart, but watch what happens here as the AQ, when she goes invisible, that means the cannon cart retargets. So the control that maybe we would have had, and we'll watch the sequence one more time. I'll skip it for a little bit here. So a great miner. That miner out of Betfas was really nice. With the Zappies, just completely stops this at the bridge. Not happening. Cannon cart behind the monk. Now again, the miner down low to the left to try to distract, I guess, the Zappies and the cannon cart. But when that miner goes off, the AQ going invisible just means cannon cart has free reign. And the monk punches away. That's it. That's GG. Very, very nicely done by Betfas. Very well played. Very well played indeed. You know what that deserves? That deserves a... Oh, no, I chained out. That one's too big. That one's too big for that basket. Let's go ahead and get the ones that are the right sized, so I can make one. I can actually make one. That's one that Slayton Jr. Yeah, see, these are the right sized ones. That one was way too big. That deserves a... What? I can't make it? Get out of here. There we go. There we go. Finally made the 2-inch putt. Oh, I just chained out two in a row on stream. Brutal. Brutal. All right, lineups for our next set, which is King of the Hill. Team Mugi coming out, Griko, SeeOk, and Mugi, xAlee, Asaf, and Betfas the lineup for Team Pompeo. So here we go. Bans will be Lava Hound and Monk. Lava Hound and Monk, the bans in King of the Hill. I believe the Lava Hound ban from Mugi. Are they just trying to ban, like, a cheese counter here? Let's see. Still Monk not broken? Broken is an interesting question. It's definitely overpowered. Let me going back here. I'm Mugi about to play Expo Shock Everyone bet. Nope. Didn't happen. Just ate a whole burrito and a double-double from In-N-Out? Bro, you went for it. Full send. Do I prefer solo caster with a panel? They're totally different vibes. When it gets more serious, I prefer to have an analyst with me. When we get into like the finals, I'll have someone join me for the finals. But for these, it's kind of, some of them are chill, just kind of hang out and be more conversational. And then when I have a guest, I really cast. So I like doing these earlier stages now. Having someone else so I can shut up and save my voice for a bit. My voice is a little bit tired today. That's certainly nice, but you know, it just depends. But in general, like when it's like real serious stuff, when it's really serious stuff, I want to have a co-caster for sure. But this is more chill. These qualifier stages or these like earlier stages, group stages. Let's see. Again, the lineups. Griko, SeeOk, and Mugi for Team Mugi. xAlee, Asaf, and Betfas for Team Pompeo. Lava Hound and Monk will be the bans. I find that Golden Knight goes well with long-range attack cards. You mean like the Magic Archer? Magic Archer, NATO, Golden Knight is like a perfect... Those three synergize so well. Bart Boros, you're a serious fan of my casting? Oh. Andrew is smiling some after hearing that, Rich. I mean, casting with Andrew, that's the jam right there. All right, let's go into game number 1. Keep in mind, this is match set for Team Pompeo. Hitar. Some people say that UFC commentators are biased towards some players. What do you think? It's hard as a commentator to always have all of your commentary balanced. Whether it be like in Clash Royale, just the fact that one of the players always has the perspective you're used to watching the game from, right? The blue player is the perspective you're used to, right? That makes it really hard. Sometimes you just get in a rhythm where you're talking about one thing, and the games are only 3 to 5 minutes long. The same thing with MMA rounds are only 5 minutes long, right? So it can be hard sometimes. You get like on a thread of conversation. If it lasts too long, then suddenly there's a big, oh yeah, I'm not liking that at all. That was just shut down city and a nice little 2 elixir lead plus. And this is just, oh boy, this is potentially, the Lightning takes off the AQ. And this is actually going to work out pretty. That's a lot of damage. That's over 1,000. That's about 1,000 HP, 900 HP damage, 800 math. It's a lot of damage that XAlee just took, but he does have a healthy bird. He's not going to support it though. Maybe his deck wouldn't. I guess he's running with the Lightning, running something thick like Golem or RG or E-Giant. Probably Golem. When is Team Mo playing? Team Mo is playing tomorrow. Or no, playing on the 1st, on December 1st. This is this is our last day of the first 4 days. We have 6 days of group play. This is day 4. Day 5 and 6 are on the 1st and 2nd. Any cards that should be removed? Yeah, Barb Hut. Barb Hut shouldn't exist. It's bad for the game, in my opinion. And the nice little mortar connection, graveyard in, barb barrel to tank for it. Nice NATO to clean up here, but the bird does not connect on the left-hand side for XAlee. So Griko with a pretty significant advantage here, and XAlee chooses the golem up. It's a lot of DPS. The Golden Knight will help with some of it. Bird on bird action, and the Phoenix for Griko going to get taken out very easily. Archer Queen turns towards the Golemites. That's really good for XAlee. That keeps his Phoenix on the board a little bit longer. And that's a lot of damage on the opposing Phoenix, but a good Valk to tank. Defensive Mortar helps. Cannon Cart to contend with the Valk. And look at how much work this Phoenix can do against a Graveyard. And this is why I'm saying that I think Phoenix's attack damage might be the problem. A Phoenix, I know that the Phoenix had help there, but that Phoenix should not be as effective against a Graveyard as it is. That NATO does not do what XAlee intended, and that's going to be a real problem. Elixir advantage one more time towards Griko with 90 seconds left. Golden Knight bopping around, but turns away. And look at that damage. That Graveyard, that whole push just devastated. Look at the difference between XAlee defending with a Golden Knight versus XAlee defending. Again, the Cannon Cart was down beforehand. To be frank about it. But the Phoenix defense versus the Golden Knight defense for a Graveyard. That's how fast the Phoenix attacks so fast. Pulls the AQ opposite lane. That's interesting. How does he defend the Graveyard? I don't think he can. This RNG might help. This might be enough. Oh, that RNG was enough to allow potential counter push, but you can't stack. And that's GG. That's GG. All right. Game number 1 down. Griko starting off set number 4 the same way he started off set number 2 with a dub. Christian saying, I think the Phoenix has too much HP. Mega Man can be easily stopped with just Skellies. Phoenix has a ton of elixir. Yeah, that's right. I'm with you. I think we have so many cards might not need to be 1 in, 1 out. We can't probably get to 150 cards. We certainly, I think that'll happen one day. And I know a lot of Turkish viewers are here today. Normally, I let all languages in chat. Today, we're going to keep it English only. Hopefully, we can go back to all languages when we get to the finals again. But for today, we're keeping it English only, make it easier for my moderators. So appreciate your understanding today and keeping the chat English. Making a Rage Spirit. It's interesting. Too many one elixir cards, though. Phoenix can be stopped with skeletons too. Can they? I've never even tried that. Disc golf or ultimate frisbee? If I were a younger man with fewer injuries, ultimate frisbee. And I prefer to watch ultimate typically. I'm a supporter. Was a season ticket holder for the LA Aviators. And then I'm going to be getting tickets for the Austin Soul since I live here in Austin, Texas now. But I played ultimate all throughout my youth, and I've coached it, and I really enjoy the sport. At this point, though, I play a ton of disc golf, and I prefer it now, just because it's not so hard on the body. And but they're both tremendous. They're both so fun. If it's a piece of flying round plastic, I'm in. You know what I mean? Disc golf. They come up with a new disc-related sport, disc golf, ultimate frisbee, something new that's really cool comes out. I'll probably watch that too. All right, here we go. Let's jump into Griko. 4-0 in King of the Hill today. Can he make it 5 against Asaf? Do I watch the World Cup? I absolutely do watch the World Cup. I am hoping that U.S. beats Iran on Tuesday. Molt versus Rich in disc golf. My guess is Molt would win. His length alone probably. I bet you he outdrives me by about 100 feet. I'm working on getting my distance back up to where it used to be, but right now I'm maxing out a little over 300 feet. And most of the time I'm more averaging like 275, 280 on my like super distance drives. But I'm really maxing around 300 feet. But I shot 2 under on 18 holes the other day, so that felt good. Miner in. Log takes care of the egg. And while Asaf gets a lot of early damage, the reply from Griko is firm. And that's, oh, what a great play. That was so smart by Griko. Use the egg as a tank for the goblins. Wow, that was I'm going to go ahead and clip that because that was really smart here. Really, really good choice out of Griko. And I haven't even thought about that, right? That people think of the egg as its own thing so much, and about the idea of the egg respawn and becoming a phoenix one more time. But the egg as a tank for something like that, that's just mwah. Very smart play. $13.27 to $8.81 with 1:10 left in regulation. That mortar controlled a bit. Does the Phoenix cross all the way over? And it doesn't. Man, Griko would have loved that Phoenix to go all the way to the other side. Instead, that does allow Asaf to set up against this Phoenix and counter push. Poison, though, for the Magic Archer. That's nice for him. Egg won't do anything. But I would have loved to put that poison on the opposite lane if he could have. And now bird for bird. Mortar. Is that? Nope. Yeah, you see, I think that Asaf was nervous that he played that skeleton a little bit too low. And so you saw him play that Golden Knight early to make sure he picked up the mortar. This would be a good dash from the Golden Knight. That's a great dash from the Golden Knight. Just like that, Asaf back in the lead, 694 to 881, and the Magic Archer there to stop the mortar. Shot does not go to the tower. That is huge for Asaf and for Team Pompeo. What does he do to control the mortar? Golden Knight high. Could not risk waiting for the giant skeleton instead. Does not want to have the Golden Knight in front. Magic Archer to work here on the mortar. Valk trying to get the Magic Archer out of the way, and yes, that mortar will get a connection. Will it be enough to win the game here? One shot. Does it get a second? I don't think so. No, it doesn't. 615 to 694. Giant skeleton now not in cycle for the next mortar. I'll have to pick up again with a not ideal option. Goblins to split. Golden Knight down. You're going to see him hold on to the ability here as long as he can, try to get it on tower. Not going to happen, though. Magic Archer plus NATO. Doesn't get the lineup. Gets 2. Does not get 3. Miner Goblins left-hand lane. No pickup on the Miner. Damage in plus poison. 217 to 394. Mortar high. Golden Knight will get the aggro of the mortar. That is really big for Asaf. NATO does make the connection, and Asaf gets the win, ending Griko's really nasty run in King of the Hill. You get 4 wins in King of the Hill, though, Griko. You've done your job. You get even one round. You've done your job as well. And really nice recovery there by Asaf to keep his team in this set. Let's go ahead and load up that one. Really nice play, though, from Griko. And the recovery was great, but this was, I think, the play of the game, though, from Griko. You're going to see all this come in on the left-hand side. The Miner down. The Goblins take care of business. Oh, no. And so it's this Phoenix here. NATO pulls everything back. And look at this. Just smart play here. Using the egg to tank. And that's a lot of... look at that Goblin damage. That's absolutely huge. That's absolutely huge. Very, very nicely done. You can't complain about gameplay like that. All right, next up's going to be SeeOk versus Asaf. Reminder that bans are still Lava Hound and make Rage 3 Elixir. Rage isn't overpowered. Rage is fine. Like, Rage is nothing useful. Sorry for those of you who are upset about Rage. I don't think Rage is... I also don't love the Rage spell in the game, but it's not good. It's like, it's most of the time it's actually bad for the... What's the best way to put this? There's only like one deck that the Rage spell's any good in, and that's that not even any good Goblin Giant Sparky deck. And then, yeah, most Rage decks are based on just I drop E-Barbs and then I Rage it, right? Most Rage decks are pretty garbage. So if you overspend a bunch, that's when Rage punishes you. If you're good at Elixir management and you don't overspend all the time, Nebula saying, yeah, but I'm bad at the game. Comment of the day so far from Nebula. Here we go. Next game, we're in the King of the Hill. Asaf and SeeOk. All right. A little different arena for this one. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can rearrange where my game screen is, because my game screen is not in the most opportune location at the moment. Maybe a little rearranging here. I think this is better. Am I still doing jiu-jitsu? No, not so much. My body is too damaged. Knee problems, back problems, shoulder problems. My hand is actually really hurt right now. I can't even grip anything. Yeah, so maybe I'll get back to it one day, but right now disc golf is my primary method of exercise, like for activities. But Slayton Jr. did some jiu-jitsu for a minute, where he's taking a little break. I think he's still a little too young for it after seeing him in classes, but he's got a knack for it. He's a thick kid. He's powerful. So interesting graveyard variation here against what's looking like the Royal Giant of SeeOk. Tombstone, the Goblins being helpful. And you're going to see Asaf probably try to stagger these defenses of popping, like, that's interesting about the Goblins actually really demanding the response of the small spell a lot of the time. And then the Skeleton King being able to pop its ability. Very curious to see. Here we go. SeeOk waited to Royal Giant until very late. And Asaf just cycling that snowball Is Night Witch balanced? Night Witch isn't very. Night Witch is not very good right now. So trying to set up for the next RG in the left-hand lane, maybe, or just the Skeleton King push with the bird. Nope, there's the next RG. And there's not much elixir for Asaf to defend this. But Asaf might take the right. This might be a tower trade situation. But I think that runs better for SeeOk, maybe. Wait, no. SeeOk has nothing to stop all these skellies on the tower. The bird does come out. Again, that's the attack speed of the bird. The attack speed of the bird is absolutely huge. Goblins to stop the RG. I think this is going to be the better of it for Asaf, but now he's playing Graveyard against RG in a crosswise 2-tower game. I'll have to find a way to tank. I think that this does start to go towards SeeOk here, although he just throws that RG into the meat grinder. So here we go, the Skeleton King tanking in the middle and gets that ability up, and that ability keeps tanking for the Graveyard, by the way. Keep that in mind. And so you do see some really good damage here in the left-hand lane with the Skeleton King's ability spawning distractions against that King Tower. Bird plus high tombstone, snowball to slow, RG gets nothing. And that's a nice kite there to just completely negate the use of that Phoenix. Nothing from that Phoenix after the defense. What's SeeOk's plan here for his next RG? That was a weird distraction against the Phoenix with that Goblins. Graveyard in, nothing in the pocket to tank for it. And now that Graveyard might have been an overexpenditure here on the side of Asaf. We'll see. Zappy's down. Fireball not there to stop this. RG does get one shot, though. Gets a second shot, and then RG in the pocket. And this is huge for SeeOk. Asaf really overspent on the left-hand lane with a Graveyard that was unsupported just like that. The lead goes back to SeeOk. He can get one more RG in the pocket for sure. Is there anything in the pocket right now for Asaf to tank for this Graveyard? Snowball tries to make enough room for Skellies, and that's some good damage here. What does Asaf do about this Royal Giant? The Fireball was not there in time. RG should get one. What a nice log here. 13 seconds, 866, 732. Fish Boy surrounded by Goblins. Does a Fish Boy hit? It does not. 866, snowball in. The RG will not be there in time. Can Fireball do enough? Can the log get there? Can't do it. Asaf holds on. 2 up, 2 down for Asaf, who's now 1 away from a King of the Hill sweep of his own. Very, very fun stuff. Very fun stuff indeed. I think I made myself coffee and forgot to bring it. I'm wondering why I'm kind of like dragging a little bit, a little tired. My throat's just exhausted. Talking about myself all this time. Oh boy, it's brutal. And finally, here we go. It'll be Mugi versus Asaf. I want to drink coffee this late. It's 4:30. Let's see. Let me take a look at some of the chat here. What do you think of the World Cup? It's the best way to watch soccer. Or football. Pump buff? Nah. All Pump does is make Expo and 3M better, which are 2 decks I don't really care about getting better. Let's see. Minor Poison so OP late game. Definitely valuable in the late game, that's for sure. Relentless Spam is a good clan name, I agree. We're going to get this jacket from being a part of the CRL casting team. They should make a 2v2 tournament. Me and my cousin bet on anyone in 2v2. Cool. Let's hope. 2v2 is fun, can be very frustrating. 2v2 is the most competitive version of Clash Royale, and I'm enjoying getting to cast it again. I can't wait for our next match of the day so I can cast 2v2 to start off again. It's so fun. When was Giant Skeleton at Frozen Peak? Oh, I don't even actually know the names of those, like Frozen Peak, Bone Pit. I like forget all those all the time. Buff Phoenix. It's overwhelming. Best caster of CR. Oh, thank you, Gabriel. I appreciate that. There are lots of talented casters, and different people have different tastes. There's some casters people like a lot more than me, and some people who like me the most. That's one of the cool things about it. 2v2 ladder is what the game needs. I wouldn't hate it. I would like it. All right, here we go. Let's jump into potentially the final game of this, game number 4. Currently, Asaf has taken the lead for his team 2-1 in this King of the Hill set. Give me just one moment here, folks. Oh, I think that my text fell on deaf ears, unfortunately. All right, so Hog for Mugi. And Asaf goes early with the NATO. Oh, brutal moment for Asaf. Early with the NATO here. Coffee at 4 minutes. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go make a coffee after this set. I'll go make it very quickly. I'll put on like a replay or something during that time. And when the set is over. So, looking like graveyard for Asaf, and that missed NATO is just so brutal. And that happens sometimes, right? When you're trying to, when the Hog doesn't come down on its own. That's one of the reasons why. I mean, often if you have Hog in your hand first play, it's often the right move. But with how common NATO is played in competitive, so many competitive players don't do NATO as the first move, or don't do Hog as the first move because they're anticipating there being NATO. And NATO for Hog is a much more dangerous counter when you're low in Elixir, when that Hog is supported by another troop, right? So you saw that same thing happen there, where the Hog had support behind it. NATOing the Hog, which would be tanking and let the Archer Queen come through, just becomes an iffy prospect. So a failed NATO against a Hog Rider by itself is one thing, right? That's like, get your act together, right? Get your placements together. Get your timings together. A failed NATO against a Hog when there's a troop behind the Hog, especially an Archer Queen, for example, that's a different discussion. I just don't love a failed NATO, but it's a different discussion. This one should be an easy choice for Asaf. He's going to go ahead and get the timing right, get the King Tower activation, because he's not worried at all about what's behind the Hog Rider and about the Hog Rider tanking for some more damage. So far, no damage on the side of Mugi at all, though. And nice Ice Spirit from Mugi just to give a little extra help to that Archer Queen. Smartly played here by one of the all-time greats. He should NATO this. There you go. And he gets a little bit of damage, and Asaf has to be okay with that damage, because he has to stack up on this side, and having a healthy Skeleton King is way better than having a damaged one. I wonder if Asaf goes and plays a troop here. Goes Barb Barrel, going to take that one shot. Graveyard just not going to quite get enough here with the Bomb Tower plus Goblins to defend. Well done by Mugi again. Minute 17 left, 10:62 to 22:06. Question Pasanta saying the Pro Se Hog Rider first is the best play. But when you're playing on ladder most of the time, yes. When you're playing in competitive, it becomes it's not always the same thing. It depends on what you're putting your opponent on. If you think your opponent is playing a deck with NATO, Hog Rider first play becomes a lot less good of a play. Because then you're just betting whether or not your opponent has NATO in his hand first play. And look at that, cycling around 2 tombstones to try to get some work done on the right-hand side. Asaf is playing this really smart. Final 30 seconds here, the EQ cycle. 2 birds on the right-hand side, tanking for this graveyard. Poison does take care of the goblins. Now I think Asaf has to NATO this one. And he's going to. And that poison ticking away. EQ opposite direction, 980, Hog back around again. Tombstone has to pull. Can a Graveyard get in there? I don't think a Graveyard can do it. Graveyard going to try to get enough going in time. This is going to be a win for Mugi, I believe. You like the idea from Asaf on the NATO, trying to make room for the bird. Doesn't happen. 2 up, 2 down for Asaf. The third one, not going to be able to complete it. And now we go to Game 5, King of the Hill, with, I believe, Mugi against Betfas. So that's going to be an interesting one. Can Mugi go ahead and get the win against Betfas here and shut this thing all the way down? What do I think of a retro ladder game mode? Only original decks has a ladder. Oh, a ladder with only OG decks. That's interesting. They do challenges all the time. One second. I'm responding to a message. Dude, let's see. Missed the arena. Blah, blah, blah. Let me come back here for a second. All right, here we go. Mugi versus Betfas, Game 5. Reminder, this is match point. If Betfas can win this, Team Pompeo gets the win here and puts Team Mugi in a difficult position. We'll see. Otherwise, we go on to set number 5. Let's see. Looking at the chat here for a moment. Mugi's a top 3 player of all time. You're probably right. Place your bet who's going to win. Rich the GOAT, only one. Thank you, Just Human. Betfas taking his time to accept here. Oh. Are any of you disc golfers? Is it just me here in these chats? Anybody that get out there and throw plastic? How come Pekka's playoffs and Spell Valley switch places? Because it's irrelevant. Coffee time, Rich. Yes, as soon as this set is over, I'm gonna go grab coffee. All right, here we go. Betfas cycling log to start off. So quick cycle for Betfas. Same for Mugi. Is this hog for Betfas? RG for Mugi and hog for Betfas, maybe? Reminder, Lava Hound and Monk are both banned. That's a nice set of guards. Unfortunately for Betfas, the Queen was had taken a little step, an extra step up, so it is RG for Mugi. Mortar Miner for Betfas. Mortar still good against RG, not as good as it used to be. And again, there's the egg tanking. Betfas not going to fall for that same one we saw happen earlier against Griko. The AQ will get 2 shots though. Nope, just 1, 24-62. So lead now does go back to Mugi. Both players playing in the same lane, left-hand side of the board. Log, Ice Spirit, Mortar, the primary control mechanisms for Betfas against the Royal Giant. Guards do have significant DPS. Don't overlook the guard DPS. Kind of an aggressive AQ here. Just maybe forcing out some play and wants to get the minor damage on. This is going to lead for a pretty significant counter push, though. I don't think that he plays an RG attached to this. It doesn't have the elixir, obviously. I don't think the RG's behind it either. Yeah, here we go. Smart log here, because I believe this Valk goes down. No, gets one more swing off. And now Betfas going to have to contend with this RG opposite lane, and then the lane switch back into the left-hand side. Guard cycled really low, Mortar placed low. AQ does not get the Mortar, well timed by Betfas. But Mugi just going to run right through this like a hot knife through butter. Log to push back, guards back around again. and one shot in on the strong side. So Betfas happy with that exchange overall. Does end up down on Elixir, though. Kyle Leach asking, why doesn't anyone use P.E.K.K.A? Because P.E.K.K.A is not very good in the meta. Has not been for a minute. Wondering what the spell situation is for Mugi here. Imagining that it's Fireball, given the situation. RG stopped by the mortar. Valk working on the DPS. Pressure on the right-hand side, though. RG does not get a shot. Minute 20 left. This is what Mugi has to do, is pressure, pressure, pressure. Not knowing what the spell is. And oh, that bird connecting is huge. And that's the danger of the AQ. And just like that, Mugi's completely in control of this game. Completely in control. And that's, again, you know, we talked about the cards that betray you, right? Fishboy being one of the most common ones. That Archer Queen, using that ability on defense when you don't have something else here, we just saw created a clear and easy path for the Phoenix to go right on through. That Archer Queen retarget was massive. RG to the right-hand side, going to get 2 shots total. Does not get the third. 1495 to 1174. Now RG again into that same side. Just wants to force Betfas to spend away from where he wants to go. And that RG might be enough to make that lead even bigger. Log knocks it back. And that RG does not get on. No, the mortar stops. So, can Betfas get a miner on the tap? That should be an easy pickup. The Fishboy pulls away. Poison won't do enough. Fireball gets in. GG, well played. We're going to a 5th and final. Mugi comes in and wins 2. And sends us to a 5th and final round. GG, well played. Would I give up my channel to be a CRL pro? Just a question. I don't think so. I like what I do. I mean, how would I get that good? You know what I mean? Like, would I just instantly have the ability to compete at the highest level? Because I'm nowhere near that. You should make a stream about your fans. You pick teams to 2v2 and it's fun. I'm not sure what that... You pick teams to 2v2 and it's fun. Not sure what you mean. All right. Let's see. Oh, let me see if Mrs. Slayton... Oh, she just got back. Okay. All right. We're going to set number 5. No Mugi here. Griko versus Betfas. Let's see. Oh, because Mugi can't play. That's right. Okay, so one of the rules here is that you can only play in a maximum of 4 out of 5 sets. Mugi played in 2v2, King of the Hill, 1v1 King of the Hill. Mugi can't play this set. So it's Griko versus Betfas here. Rich M saying so close to 90K. Congrats. How close am I? Am I really close to 90K? Let's take a look. 89,960. I'm 40 subs away from 90,000. Kiyoshiro, you're not too late. We have one whole more match after this. Guys, we can get 40 more subs, right? 40 more? 40 more today to hit 90,000? Hey, if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. We do a lot of Clash Royale competitive stuff here. Planning some more stuff to kick off in 2023, by the way. So that's going to be super duper fun. So please, if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 100K before the end of the year, and 90K tonight would be super cool. It would just be, it warmed my heart. And it's the easiest way to support the channel. Doesn't cost you anything, just a button that you press. Molite got a team too? Yes, he does. I love watching Molite and Mugi play. I get upset that I can't play that good. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I don't anymore. I'm okay. I've come to terms with it. I'll never be that good. All right, here we go. Let's kick off set number 5, Griko versus Betfas. This is in duel mode, by the way, folks, in case you forgot. So keep that in mind. Betfas has been playing... Let's go back to the previous duel between Betfas and Mugi, where Betfas opened up with Golem. Betfas went Golem, Drill Wall Breakers, and Mortar Miner was the deck picks for Betfas in that one. We're waiting for him to pick it up. Keep in mind the stakes here. A win for Team Pompeo in this last set would pretty clearly put them through to the playoffs. And here we go. A loss here for Team Mugi would put them in danger of getting into the top 4. Matches tomorrow, yes, on Juicy J's stream tomorrow. Oh no, not tomorrow, December 1st. Oh, Betfas plays Hog, jumps over the log, Fishboy will activate. So RG for Griko and Betfas playing Hog, it looks like, in game number 1. And what's the... Is he going to play a champion in this one? Oh, there. So Hog, Monk, Musk for Betfas. What an interesting Hog variation. Yes, there is one more match after this one. The other 2 teams in the group. So Griko sets up his RG here in single. The Monk didn't do much against this Musketeer in the first sequence. Nice prediction there. Keeping the Fish Boy off the Musk for a long time. Great work by Betfas there. The Goblins were very nice to protect that Musketeer. And oh, that's the wrong button. Sorry, folks. I was trying to press the grab the clip button, not the go to replay button. Kool-Aid asking, why does the Monk full reflect Firecracker shot, but only part Hunter shots? Well, because not all the Hunter shot hits the Monk. A lot of DPS on the RG, log to clean up. RG does not get a shot, though. This is going to be hard for Griko, I think. Getting past the bomb tower and the DPS of that Musketeer plus the Monk, it's going to be a lot. Fishboy out, no true counter for the Hog Rider, and this Monk just pushes it into the tower, not away from the tower, 1502. And the Monk not able to reflect that lightning. Musk goes off, but Bomb Tower played away from the Musketeer, keeping the defense on the board. And now you might see him Fishboy in the middle to pick up. And Griko playing the Fisherman low. Look at the overspend he has to make here and still take some damage. You can play, like, I've talked about this before on the stream a whole bunch, you can fully counter Hog Rider with Fishboy. The problem is you have to play it pretty high, just 5 tiles off the bridge, and that's in the distraction zone. Very famously, the God RF just predicted Lucas, I believe it was, in a CRL 2020 game. I think that was followed by the Princess Kiss, if I remember correctly. So you can fully counter Hog Rider with just the Fisherman, but it's risky. Especially risky late game when there's so much more elixir for your opponent to predict Fisherman, or if your Fisherman is distracted by a bridge fight. Right, so there you go. Fishboy played 5 tiles off. Was it fast enough? It was not. You see, he played it reactively. You have to be pretty much ready for the Hog Rider to get that timing right. You don't have to predict the Hog Rider, but you have to be counting the cycle and going, Hog Rider's probably coming up next. Let me be ready to drop it the second it comes down. So again, you don't have to predict, but you don't even have to 100% be hovering. But you have to be very, very ready to get that timing right. And just didn't quite get it. Let's see if he gets it right this time. That's too low. And distracted other way. And there you go. 2 hog shots in. And that's probably GG's here. Betfas going to win game number 1. Very, very nicely done. Time for this one push. And does the hog hit? It does. GG, well played. GG, well played. That was a hard situation for Griko no matter what, but the fisherman just not doing what he wanted. And now Betfas with match point once again for Team Pompeo. Let's see. We're at 89,979. We are 21 subs away from 90K, everybody. 21 subs away from 90,000. You're making me blush. You're making me blush, everybody. And oh, let's see. No, I left the cup by the sink. Thank you. That's pretty cool. What are the matches tomorrow? There are no matches tomorrow. We're back on December 1st. We're back on December 1st. James, I don't know the name of the plugin, but it's pretty easy to search for it. Do I think Usyk can? I actually don't know anything about Usyk, to be honest. I wouldn't feel comfortable commenting on that matchup because I'd be talking out of pocket. This coffee's going to be helping. Coffee's coming. It's going to help so much. I'm very excited. Oh, by the way, Mrs. Slayton loves these water bottles. This is not a plug because they're not sponsored. It's a plug. It's a free plug though. I'm not sponsored. These Owala water bottles. That's you can see all my disc golf stuff on it. Not a sponsor. It's like Mrs. Slayton. She buys way too many of these actually. But if you look at the spout, it's kind of hard to see. There's the main hole where you can just like dip and drink from. There's also like there's a little mini hole where you can treat it like a straw, or you can dip over and get a bigger gulp. But they keep stuff super like fresh, cold, hot, whatever it is. And I like this for like my bedside water bottle at night because I know I can get a little sip there and not have to like dump it over. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll take an Owala sponsorship, but I love that's a thing that I like. It's a thing that I like. Jake Paul versus OJ Simpson. Is OJ armed? OJ's an old man. Jake Paul would. Now we're talking about OJ. Peak OJ? Peak OJ might be a problem for Jake Paul, but no. Jake Paul would probably knock out OJ Simpson fairly quickly at this stage. All right. Keep in mind this is duels. So Griko's RG out, Fireball out, Fish Boy out. Wait, that's not the right one. Because oh no, yeah, right one. Oh yeah, so yeah. RG, Fish Boy, Lightning, all those out. Monk and Phoenix both out for Griko. Phoenix, as you can see, still available for Betfas. So we're going to see Phoenix GY for Betfas in this one. And Bowler GY Freeze, it looking like. Yep. So a GY versus GY. Bowler GY Freeze, the choice here. Mitigated a bit by Poison. Why am I getting notifications for Paramount Plus in the middle of the game? Get out of here. The Poison will mitigate some of that freeze. Not everything, but it will certainly help. I don't know the numbers on this matchup. Inferno Dragon, a little annoying, but then also you just get your Phoenix put back up. Whatever happened to the open world Clash game that was Tease of Clash Mini? I'm not sure. I know that there were 3 games at once. One of them already has been canceled. One of them is still going on. And I don't know if the third one has gotten. I haven't seen the third one yet. When am I doing a bathtub Clash Royale stream? Never. So switching lanes is Betfas. Oh, now Betfas is going to go right into this left-hand lane here. Oh, nice Inferno Dragon instead. Never mind. I thought Betfas was going to come back into that same lane as Griko, but he can't. But Poison to work on the Graveyard. What does Griko have for the Baby Dragon once it is distracted? Nope, just lets the baby... Oh, NATOs, but not to King Tower. Instead to the opposite tower. Betfas a little off with that NATO. Did not get the King Tower activation, which would have been huge here. Would have really forced those freezes to go inside. Then you can defend outside. Wouldn't have been a full-on game changer, but certainly a big help. Lots coming down the lane here. Does it pull away? Does not pull the Golden Knight out of range. So Princess Tower is still working, but this poison certainly impactful. Inferno Dragon does not do much against the bird. Zappy's helping them. The protection does not save the egg. So here we go. Triple Elixir is a few seconds away. So far, Griko pretty firmly in control. This is Graveyard. It only takes 1, though. Can Betfas find that 1 and lock up the match here? Or are we going to a best-of-1 to decide the match overall? Great NATO plus freeze. Didn't get the bowler lineup. Right, there was a bowler there. It didn't go off the board. Was my brain broken? Graveyard into the same lane. Bird tanky. Poison down on the Zappies. A lot of poison value here. Betfas needs to find 1 more opportunity. I don't know if he can, though. Smart play here from Griko to keep stacking to that left-hand lane. Poison on defense. This is it. This is it right here. Does Betfas do it? Graveyard in. Does he pop this? He has to pop the king. Pops the king. NATO pulls all that together. Graveyard giving some spawns. Those are a lot of damage here. Poison in. How much can it tick? How much can it tick? Can it tick enough? No! 1 tick away! Right? Is that, what does Poison do at 11 per tick? Was it 2 ticks away? Hold on, what does Poison do at level 11? I think it might have been 2 ticks. Poison damage, level 11. Let me just double check that. That was 36 HP difference. I didn't clip that. Let me go look at the poison damage at level 11. At level 11, damage per tick, 28. Okay, so it was 2 ticks away. It was 2 ticks. There you go. Man, for a second I was like, wait, 2 ticks away. Well, here we go. Best of 1 on its way to decide everything. Yeehaw, folks. Clash Quest was canceled. Clash Hero still in development, right? So Clash Quest was the one that was like a weird... Clash Quest was weird. I played Clash Quest. It was the one where like you put stuff on the board and tried to like knock things off. It was like Candy Crush for Clash Royale, and I honestly wasn't that sad to see it go. It was essentially like Candy Crush for Clash Royale, which that's not what I think. When I think of a Supercell game, I just don't think of something as like uncompelling as that. Clash Mini has a really loyal group that are really into it. I don't really love auto battlers, not really my thing. But Clash Mini has like a real group of people who are all about it. Clash Quest. Clash Heroes It's still in development, yeah. Clash Heroes, I think, is the one that's kind of the open worldy, or like dungeon crawler. I don't know if it's open world or dungeon crawler or what it is. But that one, I think, is still in development. That one looks interesting. That could be fun. All right, here we go. Final game here. So looking at the decks. Let me bring up the decks here for 1 second. Game number 1, it was Betfas playing Hog EQ with Monk, RG, Phoenix Monk for Griko. Game number 2 was GY against GY. Skeleton King and Monk out on one side, so probably going to see Archer Queen on both sides here. We could see a Skeleton King deck for Griko. I think we see Queen. Mortar for Betfas. Yeah, see Queen on both sides. There we go. Queen for Queen. So looking like a close to a mirror matchup. Mortar opposite lane here. Does he miner? Does he miner? Does not miner. Fire Spirit and Snowball will be really important for Betfas because of those minor bats pushes. We'll see if, because of the skeletons, Griko avoids a middle placement on the mortar. I think he will. Just wants to avoid that King Tower activation against his miner, especially early. Snowball in on the bats. That's some good damage here for Betfas to open things up. And just easy choices here for both players so far. Nothing complicated. Just not trying to go too heavy. So only 48 HP separating these two, or 58 HP, excuse me, separating these two right now. Does Betfas try to control that queen? What does he do here with this queen? Just takes it off. Miner to the front outside corner. That's nice, because that's nice for the mortar. That's why you want that play, is for that mortar chip you just saw right there. And now the Skellies, because the mortar was already down, Griko happy to play the mortar in the middle. Skelly's there to protect his own mortar for a moment. Minor Poison gets value on the right-hand side. Betfas with the lead as we go into sudden death overtime. 1784 to 1709. He's just gonna make Griko play. Just don't let him get free defenses. Miner, yeah, I think he wanted the Miner to pull the mortar aggro over to him, but Betfas a half step late with that Miner play. Lead now for Griko. Reminder, the game winner here wins the match overall. What's at stake for Team Pompeo and Betfas? At least for the moment, control of the group. Being top. A loss would put them right in the middle, and there'd be too many teams all kind of tied up in the middle there for the moment. For Team Mugi with Griko, a loss here would make them 0-2 and put them in real significant danger of not making the top 4 and not qualifying for the next stage. Betfas now has the better of the sequence. Poison does get value though. Valk goes high. Valk probably should have gone low rather than high because the queen was up there to turn back around. Not the best Valk placement out of Betfas. You already have the front covered. I know that the damage is the most important thing, but Fireball plus Snowball gets one extra Miner shot. Very important. Skellies get taken care of by the Poison. Snowball makes more room for this Miner. 322, 294. Fireball doesn't get enough room for the Miner to get shots on. Miner does not get shots. xAlee's not going to do enough here, and that should be enough for the win. And there you go. Griko. Griko. Very, very nicely done. And we go all the way. We played almost all the games we could have. Look on this side of the board here, right? This is the only set that didn't go the full distance. We went to 3 games in the 2v2 with the win for Team Pompeo. Then a clean sweep for Griko, who really deserves a lot of credit for today's match. He carried his team here. Then in the 1v1, we go to 3 games again, and that's the win for Betfas over Mugi. Then King of the Hill, the next King of the Hill, we go to the full 5 games. Mugi clutches up. We had multiple match points there. We had 2 match points in a row, 2 or 3 match points in a row available for 3 in a row available for Team Pompeo. Mugi does clean things up there. We go to the full 5, and then we go to our final set, go a full 3 games once again, and on the day, Griko going with 6 wins and 2 losses, 6-2 on the day. Great performance overall for Griko. Very nicely done. And that does mean that Team Mugi now moves above Team Pompeo. Both teams 1-1 overall in their record. Team Mugi, despite having the worst set differential, has the head-to-head matchup now over Team Pompeo, which puts them above today's opponent. Great, great work there. So our next matchup will be Team Sandbox versus Team Keef. Very important matchup there again. The exact same stakes, right? Team Keef could suddenly find themselves behind and giving up the control of our overall leaderboard. Team Sandbox could find themselves falling way behind. In our matchups, first set lineups, it's 2v2 again. Oh, was there a raid on Twitch? Whoa! What? Hold on, folks. I'm very sorry. Thank you, Twitch chat, for telling me. I had no idea there was a raid on Twitch. What's up, Twitch? How are you? Did Morton just come through big? The Twitch overlay didn't tell me anything yet. Hello! Hey, Morton, how are you? Thank you for 1,000 people. Is that 1,000 people who just raid? My Twitch overlay still only says 48 viewers. Most of us are on YouTube, but Morton coming in with a 1,045 on Twitch. So, thank you to, and I'll be very clear about it, of the top 3 of my all-time favorite players, my favorite active player right now in Morton. Thank you so much for the raid. I do really appreciate it. Hey, buddy. Slayton Jr. In here from. Let's go ahead and jump into the 2v2, folks. Let me go ahead and get the 2v2 over. Hey, Morton, thank you so much for the big-time raid. That's very, very cool. So here we go. Ardentoas and Wallace against Ian and Miniminter. And thank you, everyone who is watching on Twitch. We are also live on YouTube. That's where the primary stream is. If you want to come join us on YouTube. For those of you watching on Twitch right now, there's the link to our YouTube live stream. As we go into our next matchup. And gotta love 2v2 here. Lumberjack. So Hog Rider double, it's gonna be double Hog Rider. Double Hog Rider for, oh, thank you so much, bud. Slayton Jr. has brought me some coffee. I'm very happy about it. I definitely need a little bit of pick-me-up. Hog in on the left-hand lane. Night Witch in Miniminter's hand. Kind of a fascinating choice from Miniminter. Very, very cool. Oh, that's why I didn't see the numbers. Oh, come on, great. Twitch is not updating the numbers for some reason. Very weird. But welcome to everyone from the German stream. Do appreciate having y'all here. Interesting to see Ian in 2v2, and Never seen the guy play any 2v2. Keep in mind, Lucen saying Mugi's eliminated. Mugi's team is not out yet. Not eliminated yet. But they are on the edge, on the brink. There we go, the number's out there. Sorry for missing that initially, Lord, and to all the German fans. I appreciate y'all being here. Don't know what the appropriate greeting is in German. Is Guten Tag the appropriate greeting? Not entirely sure. And of course, Morton, one of the all-time greats in 2v2. Curious about the communication here, because I know that Ardentoas has 0 English. And I don't know Wallace's level of Spanish. I believe Arden only speaks Spanish, so I don't know if they're just dragging and dropping, or if Wallace has good enough Spanish to communicate. Ian and Miniminter, of course, sharing the common language of English. So far, the language potential barrier not being a problem for Arden and Wallace as they take the lead with 1:45 left. Only 1 Phoenix on each side, by the way. Interesting to note that one. Happy to get that Lumberjack shot is Arden and Wallace as they load up left-hand lane. That is Arden's Archer Queen on the board here. Hog sliding on through. Nice EQ damage, but a great defensive graveyard out of Ian. Very, very smart. Shuts that down right at the bridge. And obviously, playing Hog against Ian I guess maybe trying to show off a bit, or not sure what they liked about this one in the matchup. Ian defending very nicely there. Balloon trying to push through. The Phoenix won't do enough. Freeze not available offensively, right? So that defensive freeze does mean that that push died a bit early. Baby Dragon not getting much done. Musketeer turns the tower and is being tanked for by the Baby Dragon, forces the log out, and suddenly Miniminter and Ian roar right back into the lead. Graveyard down one more time. We've seen a lot of GY loom. And this Mega Knight helping. Does the Hog get a shot here? And courtesy of the freeze, the Hog gets a very important shot. Was that a game-winning shot? Poison in. Balloon in. Balloon can't go fast enough. Graveyard trying to get damage. Freeze trying to help with the damage as well. Not going to do it. Does it steal? Doesn't steal. Arden and Wallace hold on. GG, well played. Game number 1. Solidified by Arden and Wallace. That's Team Chief Keef, I believe. Let me look at the rosters to make sure I know which team is which. Let me just double check that before I go, hey, this is what team they're on. I had the rosters up earlier. And there, yes, I was right. Team Chief Keef. Let's go ahead and set up a look here at that final moment. Here we go, jumping into that replay. So here you go, the final 25 seconds here, and Arden Wallace behind by a little over 100 HP in this left-hand lane. And this Hog just unable to stop it. Both guys had Elixir. Both guys had Elixir. The question is, did they have enough? Or did they have what do they have in cycle is the big question here. The Loon just can't go fast enough. The EQ goes opposite direction. Let me go back here for a second. See if we can see what would have been played most recently. So the freeze comes in, the E-Wiz low, the MK there, and not enough, nothing that Ian could have really played there. I think his hand was all too heavy at that moment. Let's go back here for a second and look at, so when the Hog comes in, there's the freeze, right? So Ian's down to 1, Mini's down to 3. Both of them are playing, except for the Snowball, pretty hefty stuff. So here we are. Miniminter's at 5. Ian literally can't play anything unless he has a small spell that we don't know about, which I'm gathering is not the case. I need to go look at the Art Royale API, see what the cards were. But Miniminter has 5, could get something down, but not able to do it. The snowball goes to the... Oh, look at that. There's the mistake right there. Snowball goes to the wrong side. And there you have it. That's the game right there. Sending the snowball to the opposite side Hog Rider when it needed to go to the left side Hog Rider. And that is the win for Arden and Wallace as opposed to the whole... I mean, would Arden and Wallace still have won potentially because of spells? Maybe, but didn't give themselves a chance. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. All right, here we go. So looking like triple or double bait out of Wallace and Arden. Or triple or quad bait. Miniminter and Ian. The Heal Spirit's the interesting wrinkle in this. I'm very interested to see what this Heal Spirit's all about. Wait, why is the recent battles not showing the 2v2? Oh, there we go. So it was log for Arden. So Arden and Mini both that was just kind of a throw, to be honest. Not to say that they would have won, but Arden had enough for the log. Mini had enough for the snowball. Arden didn't play the log, and Mini did not play the snowball on the right side. On the correct side. Oh, no, sorry, not for Arden. No, I'm looking at Arden. Arden and Mini. My bad, hold on. Oh no, the last card for Ian was arrows. There you go. That was my mistake. So really, it's just the snowball. Should have been used on the hog on the left-hand side. All right, here we go. Double, maybe triple bait for Wallace and Arden. So is this double loon for Mini and Ian? I guess the Phoenix meta is people who don't care about it in 2v2. And a little King Tower activation here. That's rough being up against Snowball when you're playing all this bait. Of course, you're planning to get some damage here, but you just mitigated a lot of the damage you're going to get with that King Tower activation. Nimbus, you don't have to hide that person. You can just not, like, they didn't say anything offensive. It's their name's going to be. That's fine. He's been around. Loon doesn't get through. Loon connects. And then Snowball for another shot. Mini and Ian getting that Loon all the way through here with the freeze plus the Snowball to make some room. A lot of freeze so far in 2v2, folks. Heal Spirit is just fascinating. I wonder if that was a on purpose double giant skeleton drop or an accidental miscommunication here. Yeah, for sure, Nimbus. Don't worry about it. You can just unban him. But I'll go ahead and throw the ban hammer on this guy. Balloon in. Bomb tower trying to work. Balloon will get death damage on the right-hand tower. 532 left. Wallace and Arden full send left-hand lane. This will be a little bit more death damage for the Loon on the right-hand side. Now we're going to be in spell cycle range. But they don't, I don't know if they want to go that hard. Going to have to defend a little bit more. And freeze plus fireball. GG, well played. We're going to game number 3, folks. GG, well played. Let's see. Game number 3 on its way just a second. GG says die defending. Let's take a look at this for a second. Let's take a look at let me just take a look at this number. 89,987 subs. Boom, look at that. Look at that. There we go. There's a sub count. We're almost to 90K, folks. Mwah. Hey, if you're watching over on Twitch and want to help, I know there's about 400, 500 of you watching over on Twitch, and you want to help us go ahead and break 90,000 subs on YouTube, please come help out. Come subscribe. That would be super. That would be a really wonderful way to show your support. You being here on Twitch is certainly wonderful enough, but if you want to do a little extra, please come and give us a little love over on YouTube. Help me pass 90,000. We're only 11 away, which is very cool. Let's go ahead and jump into the game, folks. And Goon, if you ever chose to change your YouTube name, I could show some of your comments on stream. Unfortunately, your YouTube name is, it's unshowable. Here we go, game number 3, the deciding game in this 2v2 set. Kareem, no one is playing tomorrow. We are back on December 1st with the next round of group stage gameplay. And there's a big push coming down on the right-hand side. And that Mega Knight gets the double drop on defense, just fed that Mega Knight. They're not going to eat a lot of damage here, but they're going to be way down on Elixir. And this is really bad for Minion. And watch, Arden and Wallace recognize that and just load up. Just super load up. The defensive freeze has to come out. You're going to be able to avoid damage, but again, this is just, you have to spend so much here. And that double drop was everything. Goon, you can find a way to change that. Get a new account or something. It's just crazy. I'm a little surprised that Wallace and Arden haven't found a way to really capitalize on that overexpenditure. And this fish boy gonna again, so they should have set up way in the back. There you go. They're gonna set up way in the back here. This is smart. As soon as I said that, they go for it. Setting up way in the back. This is really, really smart for them. This is going to be... I mean, the giant skeleton can shut a lot of this down. And watch the... they decided not to ignore it. I thought they were going to ignore the miner almost entirely. Instead, they spend the 4 on it. The reflection takes the muskie off. This giant skelly bomb is going to be really big for Miniminter, and that's part of what can save you so much in 2v2. That's why giant skeleton was banned so much in 2v2 back in the day. We saw a double NATO ban here, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, but Giant Skeleton was a big part of the bans earlier on as well. Lightning, the fish boy pulls the Archer Queen out of the way. Ram Rider gets shut down here, but ahead by about 1,000 HP right now. Double Loon plus Miner, and that pushes one Loon. Oh, I thought it was to push one Loon away. E-Wiz to help. Man, look at that. Just the one, and I'd be very curious to see what like RF or Morton's opinion is on what we're seeing here. I can't tell if what we're seeing is really sharp defense or overspending on defense in 2v2. It's so hard to tell sometimes. We are seeing a lot of, you saw in that case, the Snowball, the Archer Queen, the E-Wiz, and the Ram Rider. Ram Rider did create pressure in the opposite direction, obviously, and did maintain the lead. Ram Rider trying to go around the outside here. A little body block. The body block actually helped the Ram Rider a little bit. Muskie, though, going to stop her from being too impactful. Snowball doesn't make enough room. And the one thing I feel like we're seeing a little bit here from the players in 2v2, because very few players in this tournament have experience at the competitive level in 2v2, is just that a little bit of maybe not being as familiar or comfortable with how clogged these lanes are. Right, and there's such a specific sequencing required to break through some of these clogged lanes and 2v2 when you have good players playing. So double loon again. Lightning takes the AQ out and damages both the balloons a lot. Snowball to push. And the double win condition drop, even if he connects here, which I don't think he will, no connection. The double win condition drop just ain't it, right? That's and you can see again, they're trying to find some way to break through, so they're double dropping those loons. But you need to drop one balloon, make and there you go, GG. GG. Nicely done by Wallace and Arden. You can't double drop loons like that and expect to break through, because you're giving them too much spell value. You're letting too many troops building spells do double duty. You have to drop one, get the responses out, and then drop the next one. That's kind of like, it's so funny for me to talk in any authoritative way about anything in Clash Royale, but being probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest fan of 2v2 competitively on the planet, there's understanding that part of 2v how you do well in 2v2. And look at this, right? Look at everything that's happening to these lightnings. I mean, to these balloons, right? So the double balloon drop comes down, and this lightning just goes bye-bye. The monk gets a nice block there. The monk gets a nice block there, but doesn't reflect. But the AQ gets taken care of. The snowball, the cage, the E-Wiz, all of that can work double duty on those loons, right? You have to drop one, make them respond a bunch to it, then drop the next one. That's how you'd be playing it the whole way through, right? Is working in tandem to make that happen over and over again. And then at this point, it's just easy pickings for Wallace and Arden to push the opposite direction. So, yeah, this is definitely not it when you're talking about 2v2. And they did this double. This wasn't an accident. They did this double drop more than one time. Right? This wasn't accidental on how they did it. And neither Mini and Ian are both two world-class players. Neither of them have played competitive 2v2. I think Mini might have played it back in his competitive 2v2 back in his semi-pro days. But even then, the level of semi-pro 2v2 was so different than the high levels of CRL. But yeah, you can just see just the good stop with the monk, but Ram Rider working on both of them. Once she unfreezes, Snowball working on both, Ewa's working on both, Cage working on both. The sequencing. Whoa, look at this. 89,994? 96, 97? Wait a second. 90K! Let's go! Hey! 90,000. Thank you so much, everybody. Mwah! Mwah! Thanks to everybody who subscribed. We're 10,000. We're only 10,000 away from 100K. From a button going on this thing back here. Come on. Let's go. That's super cool. Thank you, everybody, for helping make 90,000. That makes me very happy. I really appreciate that. If someone on Twitch wanted to clip that would be great to save that. That's a wonderful little sprinkle of spice of and everything nice on the day. Thank you, everybody. Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool. Let's go. All right, here we go into King of the Hill. Both sides banned Monk. Team Sandbox with Ian, Sandbox, and Miniminter. Team Chief Keef going Keef, Arden, and Wallace as their lineup. So there we go for our King of the Hill set. And again, one more time, thanks everybody. Let's go ahead and watch some King of the Hill. Huh? Seeing some lovely support from everybody. Very fun. All right. So, no surprises. Ian going Hog. Meat-eating plant. Do you have the new, maybe? Is that a disc golf disc? The new? That sounds like something from, whatchamacallit, from Innova. Right? They name everything after animals, pretty much. RG in for Keef. Give me 1 second, folks. I have to look at something. That. A little more in depth later. So Mortar Hog. Kazakhstan here, thank you. Let's go from Uvu. W from UM. Thanks, everybody. Much appreciated. It's so interesting for how long Royal Giant was such a heavy deck, right? RG Furnace Lightning was basically RG Furnace, and either the Lumberjack or the Guard version was basically like the most meta deck for such a long time. Quite famously performed very poorly in CRL. And it's so interesting how RG has switched primarily to being so... That's free lightning. Has switched primarily to being so cycle-based. So much faster. And controlling the AQ is again on the left-hand side. Hog in front. I don't know if there's a... Yeah, there was no EQ in that plan. Gonna have to control that bird will eat him. It's a ridiculous sentence. RG down. Saving the... No, besides the lightning. I thought he was going to save lightning for the AQ. Besides the lightning instead. But this DPS is going to stop the RG from hitting. Maybe a little aggressive with that lightning is Keef. King Tower activation finally comes in for Keef. And again, we're back to that same question of defending Hogs, right? Keef kind of playing fast and loose with these lightnings. Hey, Bobby Sage. Welcome. No log, no EQ to support that Hog push. That's having to use the logs primarily on the RGs. Keef ahead. But how sustainable is that? And now RG for, now Hog for Ian. No, I'm gonna try to get the Fish Boy off first, then Hog. AQ comes down. There you go. Hog to the outside. That's a good log. Doesn't get the... Skeleton doesn't matter. Look at that. And just like that, Ian really breaks it open. And now he's right back around. We're in triple elixir. Right back around to Hogs again. Hog City here. Doesn't hit. Doesn't matter. Oh, I thought that wasn't a hit. All right, we're playing. We're getting real close here, but now this is Ian's territory. Triple elixir with Hog EQ. This is where Ian lives. This is what he makes his money on. Gonna log this back. Gonna Ice Spirit. This is pretty standard defense for him. Ian's done this sequence thousands of times. I wouldn't say millions, but certainly thousands of times. I'd be really curious to see how many times he's done, like, if you just talk about each sequence on its own, but this is just Shutdown City. Shutdown City. I don't know all the details here, and I could be totally speaking out of turn, but and maybe this was just going to be Ian's game the whole way through. It just felt like Keef was being a little bit loose with the lightnings. He was giving up elixir advantages and creating opportunities for the opposite direction. That's what it felt like. I don't know if I'm right there. Let's see. Wow, GG. Hey, Rich, the green sunglasses behind you kind of fell. Oh, they did. You're right. Actually, my whole sunglass situation has gone off the rails back there. The green sunglasses fell. You know, I might switch to the Hulks. I haven't switched out yet today. Need to find some other pair to go on that. Let's see. Do I have a pair in here? Yeah, there we go. What's in here? Oh, the VRGs. I'll put some VRGs up there. Why not? And I'll take these ones off. And let's go ahead and switch out. Put the ice creams back on the board. And then let's go. Yeah, ooh, yeah. Ooh. I haven't been wearing these lately because of green screen, because there's so much green screen. But boom, here we go. We're in the Hulks. Officially licensed Hulk. Let's see. What is this? Hey, Clash Royale esports coming through with the clip. Mwah. Hey guys, miss you. Let's play soon. Clash Royale esports coming through with the 90K. That's nice. On the way to 100. All right, next up is gonna be Ian versus Arden. Very cool. Very, very cool. Let's see. Dedsafio's Juicies? I don't know. Nerf Ian. Very cool. Let's go to our next one. And thank you, my friends at Clash Royale Esports. For all your support and friendship. Here we go. Minor poison bats for Arden. So is he playing? He shouldn't be playing wall breakers with this. Drill for Ian. But with goblins instead of skeletons. Golden Knight to control. He's not going to dash here. And I like that ghost. That's a great ghost out of Ian. Ooh. Half step late. The ghost staying visible is big for Ian, though. Oh, but a big, wow. Big connection for Arden. Does he get a second? And he does. The death shot. The death shot! The death shot! Come on, the death shot. You know what I'm going to do? I don't even think I usually have this set up, but I'm going to. Go ahead and show that. Thank you, Clash Royale Esports. I don't usually show tweets on here, but mwah, love the support from you guys. Easy poison choice for Arden. I mean, for Ian. Or for Arden. Man. Too many things happening at once. For those of you looking for the teams, they are all actually on the Clash Royale Esports Twitter. At Esports Royale EN. You can find all that info there. And Ian already calling good game. The Skarmy is hard for him with no really good small spell, right? I think he has NATO here. He should have NATO here. The Skarmy is just annoying, right? You're gonna NATO and get the Skarmy off the board. Yep, that's what he does. But this is from a matchup perspective. This was actually my favorite deck for a while in the meta. I played this Minor Poison Skeleton King deck that Arden is playing. I played it for a little while. It's really fun. And against a deck like this one that Ian's playing, right? Like the Skarmy just makes things annoying because again, you can try to Magic Archer it, but then Poison gets involved. You can Minor to your Magic Archer as well. Right? Then you want to NATO the Skarmy off, and there you go. See the poison value just there. There's not many places on the board you can play Magic Archer that don't give poison value. And on top of that, and the places that are those places are right up at the bridge where you can get just completely destroyed. Right? So this is a tough matchup situation for Ian and just being really well played by Arden. And no connection there for Ian either. And this is why you're seeing why he called good game earlier. So yeah, so here's the thing, right? Is like you so want to use the NATO on the Minor to activate King Tower, but look at this, right? You see when the NATO is played, Skarmy comes out immediately after that to protect. You don't have a really good answer for the bats either. Again, your same answer for the bats is get your bird in the game. Use your NATO, use your Magic Archer. The only way, the way that Ian wins this is here in Triple Elixir, getting an opportunity where he can catch some troops and the Skarmy all with a NATO with the Golden Knight behind a drill push. Right? He has to basically Golden Knight steal. And this is what he's going to try to do in the opposite lane, getting away from the mortar. That's smart. Tries to clear all this off and hope that his Golden Knight stays high enough not to get taken out by the tower. And smart Princess. I mean, smart Miner, I mean, from Arden. 30 seconds left. And Ian plays this giant skeleton into the mortar side. And that means mortar should retarget and get on tower. And that's going to be GG. That's going to be the... we already called it. That's the official GG, though. Not much Ian could do there. Arden did play it the exact way you're supposed to play it. Very nice. Very nice. And Nimbus Rider with a very good reminder. Don't forget to use code RICH. Or use a code. I prefer if you use mine, but use someone's code when you buy stuff in the shop. Still enjoying this. This is very cool. Hey, who unsubbed? Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. Now that we've done it. Next 100K. That's up next, folks. Maybe we make it happen during finals. Maybe I'll do a big. Maybe if we hit 100K during the Dedsafio finals, I'll do something special. Figure that out. Hadi Al Saidi. Been sub since 45K. Thank you very much. Next up is Sandbox versus Arden. Oh, Inuzuka's from Morocco. Very cool. I really want to go. What's the city in Morocco I really wanted to go to? Cool Glasses. Thank you very much. I can't remember the name of the city. There's a city in Morocco that I really wanted to go to. I can't remember what it's called though. Not Casablanca. Wait, I'll tell you right now. I have a computer in front of me. I'll just look up cities in Morocco. Hold on, I'll tell you. Oh, Marrakesh. Yeah, Marrakesh is certainly on the list. I think Tangiers where Marrakesh is on the list. Asuria, maybe? That'd be fun. Oh, good question here. Why is Monk banned, says Jose Escobedo? Because, Jose, in this tournament, we're kind of going back to some old school style of Clash Royale rules, where in King of the Hill or in 2v2 sets, rather than using duel mode, because in 2v2 duel mode with 16 cards on each side would be too hard. And in King of the Hill, people prefer a bit more fluidity with those 5 teams. Instead of having a duel mode, each team, before the set begins, bans a card from play that neither team can use. In this case, and it's a blind ban, you submit your ban not knowing what the other team wanted to ban. And so in this case, both teams banned Monk. Sometimes both teams will ban different things. This time they both banned Monk. And that's what we're left with. We're left with this situation. So Arden's sticking with Minor Poison overall, going with a different variation, obviously, than the last one. But those two decks very similar. Last deck he played was the, whatchamacallit, the Skeleton King Skarmy version. Going a bit more common for these days with this variant. Interesting to note that Arden now, 2 games in a row for Ardentoas, no Phoenix. Whereas Phoenix has been played on the other side all 3 games of this King of the Hill so far. Poison Log and the Guards primary responses. Not the Valk's okay against Graveyard. Again, this is more towards the newer players or the more the players who haven't like hit the higher levels of gameplay yet. While the Valk at one time was considered a really great graveyard counter, her attack speed now is just a little bit too low. Valk doesn't counter graveyard on her own the way you think she should, is the best way to say it, right? You think that she should just, like, shred graveyards. She really doesn't. She's still an okay graveyard counter, but she's not phenomenal at countering graveyards. But when you talk about graveyard counters in Arden's deck, Poison, Guards, Log, Valk. He has lots of ways to deal with graveyards. But notice how Arden's primarily spelling this off, and then with a little Log extra there to take care of the Barb Barrel. Miner to the inside. Nice variation of placement here by Arden, recognizing he's not against NATO. Goblins to the outside, give away some damage, plus they get spelled off. Log has 2 birds to deal with, does Arden. Valk will come around. And this Valk was going to pull triple duty. Can help with some of these birds a little bit. Log has to come out. Valk so far has been very important, but Arden just falling too far behind here and not quite able to pull out the victory. And that's going to be a GG. Sandbox stops Arden after 2. Thank you very much. Mrs. Slayton just came in and brought dinner. Here you guys can all see dinner. There's some sweet potato fries, some steamed broccoli, and a little burger on flatbread with some arugula. So that'll be today's dinner. Very excited about it. And yes, I will be eating some of it on stream because, well, to be frank, I'm hungry and this is my stream. There you go. Let's see. Next up is going to be Sandbox versus Wallace. Yeehaw. This is a celebratory meal for 90,000. That's what it is. Ooh. And Mr. Slayton came through hot for the sweet potato fries. That's mayonnaise and barbecue sauce. Just a little bit, not too crazy, but come on. That was great. I'm very excited about that. We'll be eating some of this burger during our next game. So you'll have to just deal with. I'll pull my mic up so I'm not ASMRing you guys the whole way through. But whatchamacallit, I'm gonna eat it for sure. Here we go, jumping into Sandbox versus Wallace. Let's go. And I'm gonna try to commentate between bites and swallows. You'll probably hear me in the distance. Miner play. Here comes a bite of a burger. Ooh, the arugula. It's really good. I just realized I'm used to being off stream during gameplay. So you guys can't see me with the eating. Now you guys totally see me. It's a whole different experience for everybody involved. Try to eat quickly so I can get back into the act. Ooh, I thought that Golden Knight might travel the whole board. Like from this side to that side. Didn't happen though. Alright, pretty even, nice reset. Can you guys hear me at this distance, or is it worthless to talk? I actually don't know. Chat's been quiet. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and change the. Had the chat set to a lot more, a much bigger delay earlier. I'm gonna set this one back down because chat's been cool today. I'm gonna change all these details back. There we go. Slow-mo's down to 5 seconds rather than 15. You've earned it, everybody. Yeah, I have been a drill player primarily in the last couple of years since drill. I have yet to play drill with Bird. Does Phoenix also make drill much better?
To answer your question, yes, I am cheering for the US of A. There are other teams I'm excited to watch. And if the US gets knocked out, I'll cheer for somebody else. I'm excited to watch all the great teams out there. But, you know, as long as USA is in it, I'll be cheering for the US.
Alright. This is really close. Extra knock there is nice. But that mortar, oh no, the cannon card. Nicely done by the Wallace. The problem is that until triple, even then, the miners are hard to catch, right? He has an activated King Tower. The Ghost can't catch miners. Obviously, the Bird can't catch miners. The Magic Archer is not good for it. So it's like Cannon Cart, Golden Knight, and Tiny Barbell. Tiny Barbell's not great. Catching miners is going to prove very difficult for Wallace. Sandbox can just slap guards or Valkyrie with little resource. So Sandbox is just block the right, miner the heck out of the left. Valk on the drill. Play low away from the Magic Archer. NATO does not. The NATO is too early. You have to wait for the Magic Archer to pop the drill. The drill blocks it. You see that right there. Drill in. Magic Archer does not stay alive. I'm going to nail that away. Hopefully the problems on. I'm going to do it.
And there you go. Nicely done by Sandbox. Good matchup for him. But very nicely played. Can I join this tournament? No, this tournament has the qualifiers already happened for it. But if you follow at Esports Royale EN, you can find about qualifiers for future events. Kevin Holland versus Wonderboy. I'm a Wonderboy stan, so I'll pick Wonderboy. Well, Abdullah, if you can give everyone a tough time, then go ahead and enter into the next event. There are always open qualifiers to get into these teams. Or almost always. Obscurify. Team Momo, Group A plays on days 1, 3, and 5. And Group B plays on days 2, 4, and 6. Today is day 4, so it's just Group B, the other side. We'll see Group A next on December 1st, which will also be on Juicy J's channel. Shout out Juicy. And you will be able to see him there. Let's see. Here we are going to set number 3. Let's see. Oh yeah. Did Sandbox? Did that finish the set? Oh. Well, there we go. Anthony Stokes. I think Kevin goes in too playful. Wonderboy gets the TKO. I feel that. We'll see. Like I said, big Wonderboy fan, so we'll see what happens. I like his style of fighting. Also, kind of a nice guy. Gamefreak saying, "Go Daddy Sandbox." Hey, Gamefreak in the mix. Gamefreak on the Sandbox roster. Have not seen him in the play yet. We'll see if he makes it in the King of the Hill. Keep in mind that one player cannot play all 4 sets. So
we'll see if Gamefreak gets in the mix here. But part of this Team Sandbox squad. On a scale of 1 to 10, where did that meal rank compared to other meals from my wife, from Mrs. Slade? Solid. It's it's a healthier meal, so it's not like I wasn't like, oh, this is just. And there's still more of it. I'm still enjoying the sweet potato fries and the broccoli. But for a healthy meal, it's very tasty. She's definitely made stuff that is that's tastier, but also less healthy. So there you go. But for a healthy meal, crushes it. For a healthy meal, I can eat quickly on stream, right? I could go broccoli in here too. Lightly steamed. Great. What is Koth? Asked Joshua. Great question. Koth, Joshua, stands for King of the Hill. King of the Hill. Basically, each team puts out 3 players, and the first 2 players play. One of them gets knocked out. Then that player plays the next person, maybe knocks them out. This next person goes, nope, I'm going to beat you, knock you out. And the goal is to knock out all the players from the other team. Whichever person wins last stays on the hill until they eliminate the other team or they're eliminated. So there you go. That's what King of the Hill is. There you have it. Cool kid, I'm currently destroying a plate of ribs and potatoes. Dude, do you. Destroy that plate. I'm gonna eat some more of this sweet potato fry. Here we go. Furkan versus Sandbox. Into the 1v1 set. Gamefreak, I'm here to sleeps at 4, he says. Nice. Nicely done. And nicely done Sandbox, who just came out and clutched up the end of that. Cosmot versus Alex Pahea, who wins? Cosmot. I cannot imagine that Pahea's wrestling is good enough to keep that buzzsaw off of it. I cannot imagine that at all. I cannot show the standings for Group A because I don't have control over how we show standings. Those come from the production booth. So I don't even actually know what they are. I believe that they are online, though, at Esports Royale EN. Royal Giant for Furkan, and wow. Sandbox's tower is in early trouble as Furkan just gets a ton of damage. Phoenix plus Monk opposite direction, but that shouldn't be too much of a difficulty. Pigs behind. Now here's the real question. What's up with these pigs? Reflection from the Monk. It's going to be good damage as one of the pigs goes way to the outside here, too. And just like that, the lead goes all the way back. Nice play, Furkan says Ali. Let me look at something. Let me look at this for a second. I don't know what you're talking about there, meat-eating plant. So I would need more info to answer your question. Gamefreak saying I'm here to sweep set 4. Let's see if that happens. Chill, bro. What's the prize pool, bro? $30,000, bro. There you have it. It's in the description, actually. And that's the fireball that was buried earlier. So Sandbox getting away with one early on with the piggies. Not again, says Furkan. And you see why that fireball didn't come out earlier. More broccoli. I really like broccoli, actually. I'll say that right now. I eat broccoli like a few times a week. No problem. Fireball late, was hoping, and that's, Furkan was debating that. He didn't want to spend the fireball on that defense, and the indecision meant that he played it late. It's almost one of those ones where it's like, hey, maybe you're better off just living with that indecision. But he was worried about taking too much damage and losing the game right there, which is a legitimate concern. These piggies. Does he have fireball yet? Does he have fireball yet? He does. 275, 244. Furkan just needs to get back to a fireball and get it on that tower before the piggies come. He's just trying to clog the bridge here. Clog like crazy. Get back to a fireball. EQ in. The log won't be enough. And this is going to be a close win. This is one that's going to look closer than it was. Furkan winning by 55 HP. It looks closer than it was. That's the best way to put that. But both those spells were buried. And now Furkan up 1-0 with a chance to take the lead for his squad. For Team Chief Keef. And Chief Keef's a guy who he's one of the people who made World Finals in 2021 that people, myself included, were like, okay, you got here, like, congrats on the accomplishment, but it was, like, people thought it was fluky. And Keef certainly proved in 2022 by qualifying again and having some good showings at Worlds that he needs to be taken more seriously. So, like, good on Chief Keef. Was really nice, really wonderful to meet him in Helsinki. Everyone was really great. So, yeah, good on him overall. Good question. The reason why Team Mugi is higher than Team Pompeo, despite the difference in set differential, is because Team Mugi beat Team Pompeo, so they have the head-to-head tiebreaker matchup. That's the reason, because when you talk about the tiebreakers, people with the same record, they both have a 1-1 match record. The first tiebreaker is their head-to-head play. And so Team Mugi beat Team Pompeo earlier today, so at least for the moment, they have the tiebreaker. Favorite card? Ice Golem. I don't always play Ice Golem, though. I always play Magic Archer, but favorite card is the Ice Golem. Where's the Ice Golem plushie? I've been asking for it for years. Guys, Esports Royale, I know you were here earlier. Where's the Ice Golem plushie? We had the baby dragon. The Ice Golem's right there. It's like he's cute, he's cuddly. Ice Golem plush. Ben, my favorite win condition, I'm not going to put your thing on screen because you could probably use to update your screen name. Favorite win con is probably Drill. Alright, so here we go. Game number 2. Remember, game number 1. We are in duel mode here for this 1v1 set. So, Piggies, Log, EQ, Phoenix, and Monk both out on both sides. Log out on both sides. Sandbox might go with a weird RG variant here, but the Tombstone is strange. Lightning. Golem? RG, Mother Witch, Fish Boy, Lightning, Giant Skelly King? Tombstone's the weird. Tombstone's the part that makes me feel like it's not RG, but how do I think E-Giant stands in the current meta? E-Giant's not great right now. E-Giant and Pump both got a big buff when Mirror was two spells higher, or 2 levels higher. Now that Mirror has been reverted to not being insane, they both are back to being mid-level. Like, they're both mid. Broccoli break. God's tiny trees. It's a smart poison from Furkan. Just shut that down. Okay, so it is RG from Sandbox. Tombstone's just weird. Does he throw bats on this? Guards. Okay. And that's a smart miner there. Just trying to see if he can tank for these guards, get them on tower. Couldn't get it done, but it's the right idea. And Sandbox smartly was ahead. Do I think Archer Queen's still a top tier card? Yes. Yes, for sure. She's just no longer insane. She's still top tier. unless you like just make a tier that's just for the Phoenix Monk tier, right? So it's like it goes like above S tier is Phoenix Monk. $23.38, $26.02. That's going to activate King, I believe, unless he got it one half tile too. I think that activates King, though. It might be a half tile high. Nope, it does. I'm silly. And that's going to shut down all but one shot from the RG. Furkan this time does get a miner in front of those bats. He's playing miners high. I think also a big part of that is the Mother Witch, right? He's not playing miners to the back. If he played that miner to the middle there on that Mother Witch, that could have been a devastating push. Instead, it kind of just withers. Hey, what's up, RF? Thank you very much. And yes, Slayton Jr.'s 30-footer on hole 18 at Zoker was clean. You're absolutely right. I was very proud of that shot. He had a 40-footer like 3 weeks ago. Slayton Jr. is coming for that throne. RG. Skeleton pulled away here. Snowball to slow the RG. It's going to be one shot, though. 37 seconds left. The miner goes right to the Mother Witch. And then miner going to go to the right here, kind of tank for the hope that he can get the switch for the mortar. The mortar does lock. The mortar does lock, but not going to be enough shots, though. Poison into the same lane. Mortar high. He should have gone maybe mortar to the opposite lane here instead. Stretch out that lightning even more. RG gets 2 shots. Can't afford those 2 shots. Miner now goes for the back, but doesn't pull the Skeleton King anywhere. I don't think there's enough room for Sandbox for Furkan to get past Sandbox. And that's not going to happen. Boom. All right, here we go. Game number 3, folks. Game number 3. Let's see. Do I think RG deserves a nerf or just strong cards because of the synergy with new cards? I have not given that enough thought. My first instinct is it's the cards around RG, because the cards that are around RG. Here's the thing, right? Is like Fisherman's not really with anything else. I mean, it like makes some appearances elsewhere, but it's not really anywhere else. But yeah, Fisherman is just so good around RG. So is Royal Ghost. Let's see. I feel like Team Vitor is OP. Team Vitor is really good. Sandbox pull giant skeleton out of the Princess Tower. Oh, is that what happened? Is that what I missed? Really? Hold on. Let me go look at that for a second. Let me go look at this in a replay setting. Give me 1 second. But Sandbox won. All right. Well, we're ready for our... Is this the last game of the day? This is the last match, but not the last game. We'll have plenty of more gameplay after that. They made say when he hit 6K, you can't drop below that. Why? Because they're totally changing the way that like all that stuff works. They're changing the way they've separated ladder from ranked. It's a whole thing. Why is Morton not playing? Doing his thing. RG just has infinite health. Yeah, but we still saw some RGs get shut down though. Here we go. Let's jump into our next game. Deciding game of this set. Again, we are going to have at least one more set because you can see the crowns over here. First win was for our red team, Team Keef. Second set was for Team Sandbox. So now we'll see the winner of this will add their color crown to right about there. And they will have the match advantage. Ewa's for Furkan, so probably drill. Interesting choice. Ewa's with mortar. You don't see a ton of Ewa's with mortar. I don't know. Oh, by the way, I just see people say RF is here. I don't know if RF is still here. RF, I'll put your comment back on screen one more time. Have you watched the 2v2, and what do you think of it? I want to see if I can get you and or AC to join for a little bit on Grand Finals for some of that 2v2 insight. Juicebox, how do you not have more subs? This is amazing content. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Mostly because my content creation schedule is not as robust as it should be, but it will be growing in 2023. Been working with some people to put a plan in place to have more consistent stuff on the channel in 2023. Do I speak any other languages? Nothing well enough to brag about. Very rudimentary English. I mean, my English is terrible. Rudimentary French, a few words of Spanish here and there, and mediocre Hebrew. Which team is winning now? They are actually currently directly tied, Joshua. As you can see, red team won set number 1, blue team won set number 2, and set number 3 is about to be decided. They are tied 1-1 in set number 3. The winner of this will have a significant advantage, though. Arrow's kind of a dead card here for Sandbox, other than cleaning up drills. For Sandbox, that's what he didn't want to do. That's a nice little connection. See, the thing is, Sandbox has to stack a lot to win these bridge fights, but then when you stack a lot like that, unless you're stacking really high, you're just feeding connections for the golden. So what does Sandbox do? Right, because now this is again Golden Knight fodder. Mortar goes to the opposite side. That's smart, and that's what you do. You pressure so the Golden Knight can't do what it wants to do. Because if he might still dash. No, he waited. Yeah, and then Magic Archer for the border. This is GY for Sandbox, but hasn't had a chance to do anything really good with Graveyard. There you go. Look at you, Rich, calling out what the win con is on right before card 8 comes out. A little good extra Hunter chip there. That gives a nice lead for Sandbox. Dark Princess for the Graveyard. That's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be a lot of damage. Yeah, it has to get the Bar Barrel out. Graveyards are just annoying to contend with this deck. Now, luckily for Furkan, there's... Oh, wow. Have to use the native to pull that cannon card back. That's a big shot. Luckily for Furkan, there's no direct big spell that's great for the Magic Archer. But he wants to get the Magic Archer up high to get lineups and to contend with the mortars up there. Good connection. That gives the lead right back to Furkan. Sandbox now. Going to get the better of this exchange with the cannon card. This cannon card should die. No, the Ewas protects. That's big. Can the cannon card get on tower? Golden Knight stops the cannon card from getting through, but another cannon card right here at the bridge. And now Furkan's having to feed this bridge fight. Right? Look at that. So you have to feed that bridge fight, and the Valk gets in front of the cannon card again. This is really bad news for Furkan. This is really bad news for Furkan. He has to pressure the opposite lane, and he can't. He simply can't because the cannon cards keep on becoming a problem. And that cannon card doesn't connect to the tower. That cannon card will go to the tower, and that's GG. That's just GG. The Golden Knight can't do it. Sandbox wins the set. And that is a lead for Team Sandbox. Besides Phoenix and Monk, what other cards do you want nerfed? Good question. Let me think about that. One terms of the whole tournament, what team has the most points? Well, there's 2 groups right now, Joshua. And in this group, Team Keef is currently the leader. It's not so much points, it's just win-loss record. And then, where is that ad coming from? Where is this ad? Man. Royale API, I love you. Your ads keep distracting me. I'm just going to mute the tab. That actually will help. I will mute the ads. I will not block your ads, though. I will continue to support you guys earning money. But oh lord, Or they distract when I'm trying to cast. I don't know what the Group A standings are exactly that's available. You know, let me just go. Let me go and find them out. Let me stop being lazy. Let's just go to esportsroyale.en and see what, or at, not esports, at esportsroyale.en and see if they posted the standings from the other group. Let's see. So in Group A, Team Vitor has 2 wins and is +4 on sets. So Team Vitor has secured their way into the next round. Team Momo is 1-1. Team Bassotto is 1-1, and Team Airsurfer is 0-2. So Team Airsurfer needs to win and have some other stuff go their right way to stay in it. At the moment, though, Team Airsurfer. So it looks like it'll be Vitor, Momo, and Bassotto's teams going through to the playoffs later. But you know, maybe something crazy happens and Team Airsurfer pulls it out. But there you go. There you go. That was easy. Just go to esports. Just go to Esport Royale EN on Twitter. That was an easy way to solve that problem. All right, here we go. Set number 4, the lineups for Team Sandbox in our King of the Hill set 4. It will be Gamefreak getting in there to kick things off. Congrats, Gamefreak. Ian and then Sandbox, and then followed by Chief Keef, Wallace, and Ardentoas. And both sides banned Monk again. Monk is the big ban here. This is really interesting. Monk has been the ban. Are we seeing a shift in everything? Was the egg nerf more impactful than I thought? Josh was saying, I expect the Team Vitor to be as dominant as they are. Yeah. Team Vitor's pretty gangster. Vitor, Lucas, Adriel, and Surge. When Surgical Goblin's the worst player on your team, that's a great situation to be in. Right? That's a phenomenal place to be. Lucas and Adriel, it's so gross. That's so good. Yeah, Team Airsurfer, xopxsam, Seb, Boss, Airsurfer. Yeah, they're all great players, but in this caliber tournament, very difficult. Pompeo, Betfas, XAlee, and Asaf, up and down. Team Mugi, Griko, Chris, Leanne, and SeeOk. 50-50. Let's go into gameplay. Sandbox, Miniminter, Gamefreak, and Ian, which is a very good team. Let's see how Gamefreak does here. Isn't it a big opportunity for him? Keef, Wallace, Arden, Furkan is just also a really good team. They're having some struggles here. That's a really good team, though. Josh, the teams did not choose their teams exactly. Like they chose some of it, and there was like a draft. Like I can't remember exactly all the ways the teams were built really like in like multiple parts. They sort of chose their teams. There was a draft at one point. They like picked some of the players, drafted some of the players. Tolga, can you clarify this question a bit? Will there be an award-winning tournament that everyone can participate in? Can you clarify that a little bit? What do you mean? There will be CRL next year, and just like last year, everyone can play in CRL. The new CRL is open to literally everybody who has Clash Royale on their phone or tablet. Surprised the XE version here from Keef. Why the XE variation? I guess lava's not banned. Maybe he was thinking Gamefreak would go lava. Gamefreak didn't go lava. How can you qualify for CRL? Well, last year there were 2 methods. The first method was to win a golden ticket in one of our 6 golden ticket tournaments. That gave you they were open qualifiers, gave you a direct path to World Finals. And then there was the in-game event starting with the 20-win challenge, where it was the 20-win challenge and then multiple different brackets. That was the second way you could do it last year. And that awarded the other 12 positions. Other 10 positions. Something similar will happen in 2023. What that means precisely, not entirely sure. Thank you, Jordy, for the congratulations. Mwah, appreciate it. 100K right around the corner. Let's go. Good XE damage. I mean, XE is good against Bird, so I see that. And this is smart drill play out of Keef. You're playing against Golem. Just drill those Golems out. Ooh, that's a good NATO and connection there from Gamefreak though. And that's a bird plus Electro Dragon on the board. Does Gamefreak get something in front of this Phoenix? He does not. Golem high for Gamefreak. What's his plan for this drill? Drill to the back. Interesting drill to the back. Picks it up with the Golden Knight. Lightning in, and Golem pops on tower. That's big for Gamefreak. Hey, this could be Gamefreak getting the win here. That would be a big one for him. Let me go up and bring up Gamefreak's Royale API. I honestly know very little about it. Goes with a pretty like matchup dependent deck pick here. Gonna get the win though, and that's a really nice way to start off your competitive campaign at this level. I was really hoping that when I looked away that I didn't accidentally look away and then see suddenly he'd lost. When I heard the end, I was like, please don't tell me that something terrible that I've cast or cursed this kid. All right, Gamefreak. Let's take a look at Gamefreak stuff. Gamefreak, 8310 personal best in the old school version of ladder. Very nice. Anybody above 8K is doing it. 83K is very legit. Has played with 10 esports and Stars Elite. Lots of #1 finishes in the global tournament. Interesting. Ramp up, rage, and normal. So 3 #1 finishes in the global tournament. That's interesting. He won one of the ESL Mobile Opens tournaments or their ladder in 2021. Made it to the top 16 in the first round of CRL last year. Very interesting. I know I've seen his name before. I just know so little about it. So he had a couple of good performances in CRL qualifiers in 2021. Vertex Cup in Germany, Gems, Magenta E-Trophy. Okay. Well, Gamefreak, this could be a fun coming out party, this event. Let's see how it goes. Let me go look do one more check here on the league so far and see all the players, how they've been doing in win rates. And Gamefreak comes into today in competition play. Has he played? Oh, so comes in with a 0% win rate. So gets his first win here. Congratulations, bud. Well played. Well played indeed. Maybe you should play, say, Survivor Counter when you're upset at 95. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, sorry, I didn't know this was Koth. Yeah, it's Koth. Me eating plant. I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. All your cryptic, weird messages are just strange. Broccoli. Oh, Ram Rider. Ram Rider. It's been about 3.5 hours there, Jorge Falcon. A little longer than anticipated.
Does that Ram Rider get away? Ice Spirit to slow down. Mega Knight nicely done with the Goblins. Oh, but the splash of the MK. Boom! And Wallace wins. Gamefreak throws out the white flag. Very well. Very well done. Very well done. GG's! All right, Ian versus Wallace. Remember, Team Sandbox could win the match by winning this set. The question is, will they do so? I miss global chat. Which Clash Royale global chat option? I do not. I do not want global chat in Clash Royale. Oh boy. I haven't seen Mini P.E.K.K.A in for Bandit in this deck yet. Yeah, interesting choice. A little more single target damage. Did you get Clash proximity chat? Like voice chat? Bro. No. Here we go. Oh. Wallace versus Ian. Yeah, they'll tied up 1-1. It's hogging time. Does Ian hog? Does Ian hog here? He does not. He RG's here. RG versus Graveyard? Or Minor? Graveyard. Okay. Cool, cool. So what's the building? There we go, Tombstone. Two shots from the Royal Giant. Is there a third? There's not. First minute away, Ian drawing first blood. So setting up the ghost in the back is interesting because you really give your opponent tons of time to decide if they want to use the NATO. I don't always love that. Barb Barrel instead. I guess NATO wasn't really ready. Phoenix to the left. And Wallace is really chilling on this. Wallace really trying to make sure he has the sequencing right. And that's some real serious patience here. He did not want that Ice Wiz to go down there. He was gambling a little bit on that. And this will be a counter push here. Does he do anything with it? I think he holds. I think he just holds. Yeah, he's just gonna hold. And again, Ghost all the way from the back here, but this time RG in front, so no NATO. Tombstone's inside. Maybe high? No, he can't do that. That's a NATO back, and now Tombstone. Doesn't have to, because DPS is. All right. So far, Ian's just playing a flawless game here. Really has this all cleaned up. I think he can get an RG in front of this again, too. Ghost, and he can still get an RG. He decides to stack instead. He has this Fish Boy being distracted by the Tombstone was nice for him, actually. Gave him some good time. He's still just hanging. Oh, that's a lot of poison value there. He's playing so conservative right now. And it's paying off for him. I'm not used to seeing Ian be like this conservative. This is like trickle-down Clash Royale. You can see what I mean. 2073.
And now Ian goes. 80 seconds left. Bar Barrel does not get the Fish Boy off. That's really good for Ian. Can he get this Ice Whiz? Nope. NATO takes care of the Fish Boy. Lightning gets him in there though. Past Tombstone, can't Tombstone. RG shoots. 1449. Here we go. Triple Elixir. And Ian with almost 1,000 HP lead. Two fishermen down for Ian. That Lightning did not get what he wanted, though. This could turn bad. This is Wallace's big chance right now. 30 seconds left, 2 birds on the board. Ice was going to get taken care of by the Royal Ghost. Stacking birds right now is Wallace. Graveyard in. Can Wallace get the Hunter off the board? And it does. Hunter down low. NATO's the Royal Ghost to King Tower. It's not going to be enough, though. Not going to be enough. Very well played by Ian. Got the lead, shut it down, played super conservative, and gets it done. Very, very well done. Yugi Art with the Love Your Cast. Thank you, Yugi. All right, and now with the 2-1 lead, point for Team Sandbox. A big-time match point for Team Sandbox. Ian versus Ardentoas. And again, let me remind you, if Team Sandbox wins this, that would leave all 4 teams tied with the same record of 1 win and 1 loss. The differentiator would be head-to-head first, sets second. So a win here would put Team Sandbox over Team Keef. But I don't know how the other tiebreakers work all the way around. So this is going to throw this division into absolute chaos and make everything be about the final day. Here we go. Game number 4. Can Ian shut this down here? Does Ian hog here? Yes, he does. Electro Spirit, so we talked about this earlier. Seeing Electro Spirit makes Ian go, I'm probably not against NATO. I can just naked hog her. You can like hog for Arden as well. Maybe not. But Ian, and that's the difference, right? You're playing a competitive matchup. You're trying to think about what you're up against most likely. And when you're playing hog, it's, do I think he has NATO or not? He actually might, though. No, he has Fishboy. Oh, so it's RG? Or is this somehow some weird hog Fishboy? That's RG. All right. RG Giant Skeleton. You don't see that much these days. So Ian's happy. Ian's fine with that King Tower activation here, right? He got a nice advantage of about 700 HP. He was able to defend fine. Falls a little behind here on Elixir, and Arden just decides to go aggro with the Giant Skeleton. And that Giant Skeleton's in a touch. Wow, Ian just miscalculating fully. Kaboom. Just fully misread that situation. Fishboy is not going to fully counter here. Going to give up a hog shot. Ian calling good game really early. But now Fish Boy out of cycle. Doesn't get the shot, though. Nicely timed with the log and giant skeleton from Arden. This stack's going to be really hard for him to deal with, as the Ghost does turn back around. And that's a nice lightning. That's going to clear a whole lot of path. Hog, this is a desperation defensive hog. And this is going to be game for Arden. There's just nothing here. Nothing in this one. Bomb tower low. Does he have log to at least try to stave off the damage? Ice Spirit slows things down. Goblins. And the lightning finishes it off. All right, here we go. Game number 5. He had no ground Tamil. Roscoe asking how much gameplay is left today. Well, if our 5th and final game goes to Team Sandbox, then only 1 game. If Arden beats Sandbox, we go to 1 final best of 3. So there we go. Yeah, I wouldn't say that Ian choked. That's a difficult matchup all the way around, right? To have, I mean, you have Bomb Tower, but the single target DPS a little bit rough on that one. And you're up against Lightning when you have AQ and Bomb Tower. A little rough. The giant skeleton was definitely hard, says Joshua, and he's right. You're absolutely right. Here we go. Does Sandbox end things now? Or do we go to a final best of 3 duel mode to decide it all? Sandbox going Miner, Drill for Arden. Drill Wall Breakers for Arden. Valk plus Ice Spirit to clear. Arden with almost 7, with just about 7 on the board. If you take, don't worry about those shields being a little bit dinged. Is he log? Yep. Easy cleanup. So just 1 drill pop so far damage for Sandbox. Arden has taken a bit more. It's going to be interesting to see how much Arden can actually get damage from the wall breakers. The Valk is Sandbox's best counter to the drill. And oof. That's a shutdown move. -1 towards Sandbox's favor, but still just shuts down that mortar. So Valk is the best defensive option against the drill. And there you go. Guards can be played high. It's a nice little sequence there from Sandbox. He's going to put pressure in both lanes. As those goblins, as the gang goes to the left, Sandbox is going to force out something on the right. There you go. The mortar is going to be really... I think we might see Sandbox do some defensive mortars because he knows that unless he gets the Inferno Tower out of sequence, his mortar is going to be towered, right? And so, boom, Inferno Tower. He does catch it. Does he get something in front of this? No, nothing in front of it. Bit of a waste of the spirit there from Sandbox. And now he's going to have to deal with this right-hand lane. Mostly unaffected. Queen still has her ability. Doesn't have to pop it yet. This is nice. Falcon, this is what Sandbox uses to get stuff in front of those mortars, so that Arden just can't tower. Dark Goblin is a little bit cheeky though here. There you go. Mortar high for the wall breakers. This feels like it should be good for Sandbox. If anyone has a different a thought on why Arden might have the advantage, feel free to speak up. 2 minutes left. Arden behind by only a couple dozen HP. And there's going to be 2 Valks in front of the mortar here, and the unhealthy one way in front. AQ takes care of the Dark Golem. This is a great sequence for Sandbox. Can he make anything of it? Fireball value given a little bit too freely here. Mortar does not go to the tower, but Miner will get a lot of damage. And the poison value on top of it. Sandbox starting to pull ahead here at the final 80 seconds. Cycling the Valk early is Sandbox. Wants to get around to another one later. Just get some more chip value up front. What does he do about that Dark? Oh, he plays. There we go. I say, what does he do about that Dark Golem? He goes Mortar defensive to deal with the Dark Golem. Logs a half step early, but wants it on the wants it on the Goblin King, on the Skeleton King. Goblin King, is that coming? Poison does get a tick on the gang, I think. And that's a good Miner. Does it put the Mortar in the right spot? No. Wallbreaker to the left distracts. 1452 to 1838. Drill now on the right-hand side. He wisely chooses to eat that one shot. Dark Goblin, you cannot eat too much of them. We might see, we see no lane switch here. Just trying to stop the Mortar, and still no lane switch out of Arden. Opts to go into to continue to push into the lane, and that should be the death knell. This should be a nice, and there you go, Miner poison, log, and that's it. GG. Very well played. Sandbox going to shut things down here, and that is a match win for Team Sandbox. And this group is in absolute disarray. Is an absolutely chaotic situation. Where we go into the final weekend on December 1st and 2nd, going to be on Juicy J's channel with a 4-way tie in records. And there you have it. So again, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, which you see puts Sandbox over Keef. After that, though, this could get completely crazy. Remember, at the end of next weekend, we'll have 2 teams that are 2-1 and 2 teams that are 1-2. And between those 2 1-2 teams, that's where the tiebreakers get really squirrely to see which 3 teams move on and which of the teams from the group stage gets knocked out. That's going to be a real big question. And overall, right now, that is a big-time win for Team Sandbox. Needed it to stay relevant, and they do. So GG, well played. Everybody, this has been a blast of the day. Let's see, what are we at right now with subs? 90,011. Well, wonderful. If you're watching on Twitch, I see some of you are still watching there on Twitch. If you haven't yet subbed on YouTube, more. Oh, there we go. 90,030. Thank you. Oh, going up more. For what is the last column mean? That's the set differential. So the way that this works is you have your first deciding factor for ranks is how many matches you've won. You can win up to 3 matches. They've each won 1, lost 1. Then it comes to head-to-head relationship. How does who beat who face to face? But then if that ends up with ties because of like triangles or people beat each other all the way around, set differential, sets won versus sets lost is one of our primary tiebreakers. So there it goes. If you're watching on Twitch, please stick around for a minute. I'm going to come and say thank you, and then we'll find someone else to raid and pass the love on, continue to pass the viewership on to other cool streamers. If you're on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. 90,000, it's really, really cool. And I'm glad that you guys were a part of it. Glad that I got to share that with you guys today. I'll be back for the grand finals of this event, which are on, drumroll please, the grand final is... Oh, where are you? Where are you? How long can I drum roll this? Can I drum roll this forever? Where are you, schedule? That has the... I thought I had the schedule up here. Stream links? No. Roster? No. No. Where is the... Well, I can't find it. Oh, December 4th. There you go. The grand finals are on December 4th. They'll be right back here on this channel again. Maybe we'll try to push all the way for 100K, which would be super cool. Do that with you guys. So if you can come back on December 4th, please do. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, really appreciate that. YouTube, it's been a whole lot of fun. Twitch, stick around for just a couple of minutes. We'll find someone really cool to pass the love on to continue along with the raids and hosts. Either way, as always, Be excellent to each other. Peace. All right, Twitch, hold on 1 second. We're going to go ahead and find somebody. Let me go ahead and end the stream on YouTube. Boom.